And we are coming down in 3, 2, 1.
Hi, and welcome to Getting Sports with Drunk. We here at GSWD would like to start the show off by taking a moment of silence for Kobe and Gigi Bryant, as well as the other victims of the horrific helicopter crash in California yesterday. So we will be observing a brief moment of silence for all the victims. Thank you. Welcome to Getting Sports with Drunk, live on the PPRN radio network. I'm your hostess, Cupcake the Riddler.
I'm Mark.
Sheen Washable.
Nope.
Kyle.
The Mask Chris Massey.
And I'm the Red Baron.
Right. So welcome to another edition of Getting Sports with Drunk, live on the PPRN radio network and Spreaker. We got a full house today. First time in a long time. Got a full house. Mock's done getting his dry rubbed down in Memphis. Mass is done.
Whatever Mass is doing.
Well, he had like a work meeting, and he was like, I'm going to come to the show. Matt, you have to drive by your house. You're going to waste a half hour of driving that you could have been on air. And you were just like, I'll just do it. Otherwise, I have to sit in the tub all day. And like, it's just a weird thing. But, yeah, so we're back. We're live. We're here. Let's do a quick round the horn. Rat, what are you drinking? Anybody else feeling like weird headphone thing going on right now? I don't know if mine's just not loud enough. Master, turn mine up. My headphones up. I don't know which one it is. Someone's got to be talking, otherwise he's just doing switches. Well,
Ho. Hey,
that's good.
Hey,
I'm all right.
Jesus. All right, Rat, what are you drinking?
Courtesy of...
No. Don't lie to the people. They know what picture we post. What are you drinking?
I'm drinking Pabst Blue Ribbon beer.
You dirty liar.
Actually, for those who might care, today is actually the last day of it being fresh. I just happened to look like, oh.
PBR
cool.
is always fresh.
I know. It's just
Kyle?
according to them.
Can you skip me for 4 seconds?
Why, so you can find out where it's from?
Correct.
Mock?
I
Sheen
have-
Washable.
Nope. I have from Nebco here in Woodbridge, Connecticut, a Sea Hag.
He bought it in
IPA.
Memphis. though.
Straight from the dry January collection.
Yeah, hey, it's a tribute.
You know, can you believe this fucker didn't sing while he was there?
Walking to Memphis.
Yeah.
Well, it's a terrible song.
Taylor Swift did a cover of that.
It's not, though. It's a fantastic song.
Mass?
From our friends at Thimble Island in Brantford, Connecticut,
This guy gets it.
I am drinking Dry Hop Pilsner. I don't even know what it's called. Does it have the name? Like, is it just called...
It's called a dry hop pilsner.
That's for Sterling. All right. It's the Sterling Archer beer that Riddler drank last week.
Yeah, you forgot to say from the Riddler collection.
From the Riddler collection.
Very
Fuck.
important.
Rat bastard.
What do you got over there, Paul?
Well, it's Kyle's turn
I
now.
tried.
He's had enough time.
I'm drinking Premier Interboro Spirits Pale Ale. Spirits and Ale.
You want to try it again?
No.
Souls, what are you drinking?
Drinking Premier out of Brooklyn, New York. It's India Pale Ale. Double hot, dry hopped.
So it's a DDH IPA.
Yeah, whatever you want to call it these days.
I'm drinking from McKellar or Mykeller. It's a brand new brewery. I've never heard of it.
Mykonos.
Yeah, Mykonos. No, I'm drinking from Mykeller Brewery out of San Diego, California. The Beer Geek Vanilla Shake. It's an Imperial Stout milkshake with coffee and vanilla. You see Kendall look right at the beer. He was like, look at that. That sounds good.
Oh, you got 4 of those over there, huh?
Yeah. It's 11%.
4 of them and 3 of me.
So the one I gave you is not good enough?
No, it's good. It's good. I'm very excited for it.
Again,
the
you think
PBR?
Kendall still won't drink 3 of those?
Actually, there was Evil Twin had a beer there that I wanted to get for you, but I couldn't. I'm sorry, it was $25, and I had a
Yeah, that's
strict
right.
budget.
That's very
But it's a 4-pack called. I always look forward to my morning commute on I-95, and it was a triple dry hopped IPA.
Oh wow!
Yeah, 27%.
Damn.
It was 27%.
I was like,
oh my
God.
god!
It was 16%.
Well, still.
Would you get it?
Yeah.
Would you drink all 4?
I try.
Would you do Boilermakers with Graves?
No, I wouldn't do that.
Would you do it once?
I would do it once.
Yeah.
You're a sick freak.
Here's the thing, though. He says he would do it once, but once he did one, that's leading to 3 more.
It's
Oh,
like,
yeah.
like, this was that bad.
That's why you have to have him finish it off. And then I don't mean to speak for everybody at the table, but I think we all have the same toast of excellence tonight.
Probably, yeah.
Well, sip of silence.
But I mean,
But,
it's
yeah.
all the same. Yeah. So the sip of silence / toast of excellence goes to the career and life of Kobe Bryant, as well as the life of his daughter Gigi, and the rest of the victims on the helicopter that crashed yesterday in California.
Sip of silence.
Gentlemen,
I'd like to give slight props, though, for the first owner to do it.
Mark Cuban.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hope it becomes league wide. To be honest with
I
you,
think it
Me
will.
too.
I think it will.
it's a sport that can afford to do it.
It's one of those things too where
Also, $32 totally well spent.
just because it was such a shock. You know what I mean? Like if
Well, it's just saying, like, it's going to be sad when Kareem goes,
yeah,
or Bill Russell, or, like things like of that nature. But, somebody who was so impactful and so influential in sports, also somebody that has not been removed from the game for that long,
That's right. He was still young.
and even more so, somebody who, once they did retire from the game, did everything in their power to remove themselves from basketball, and was only brought back to it because of the daughter he lost in the crash with him, wanted to learn more about basketball. And who better to teach her than her father?
Yeah.
And they got the league pass and watched games. They started flying all over the country and going to various home games, and college games. I mean, UConn. They went to UConn right here in our backyard.
UConn just did their jersey. They had a jersey for Gigi tonight.
I was sitting in the backseat of my car while they were looking for me, and I heard them talking about it. It was very weird. But, it's just, like you said, it was so sudden. It was something that a lot of people thought to be fake initially as a report from...
I did at first.
A report from TMZ, which unfortunately is a reliable source when it comes to things like this.
But also, fuck them.
Well, the other problem, the reason that a lot of people were having a hard time believing it to be real, was because places like NBA.com and ESPN, Fox Sports, they're not going to post something like that until it's official in a police report type of deal.
And they alert the family.
Right.
Well,
That's
the
how
thing.
the family found out. Was from TMZ.
Yeah, but more so than that is the other part that led to so many people believing it to be a hoax was that when it happened, being such a national icon and a well-known person across the world, so many people visited the TMZ website in such a short span that it crashed the website for an hour. I mean, TMZ was shut down. And, I mean, you could imagine the traffic there has to be on TMZ.com to shut down a news site. And which just led people to believe more that it was a hoax, that someone shut down TMZ because of it.
Another part of it is that people just didn't want to believe it.
Still don't.
Well, no, it's not as much that. It's that, I mean, nobody wants to believe it. I agree with that. But people, there's the, there's the consistent hoax that goes around every year.
It happens all the time.
Of Kendall's least favorite girl over
Betty
there.
White dies 3 times every year.
Yeah, she dies 3 times a year.
Eminem.
Yeah. I mean, you see it all the time where somebody reports a death and everybody's like, you see it on Facebook or whatever, and everyone's like, oh my God, and then you find out it's fake.
Yeah.
And TMZ is, it's a rap sheet, which, it's a tabloid essentially.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of fake and a lot of true in their reporting, and it was a very it was one of those moments that kind of the country, the world, really stood still. I mean, the passing of Kobe Bryant was one that was felt not just by sports fans.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, my girlfriend Samantha's cousin was sad, and she doesn't watch sports, but you know who Kobe Bryant is.
Yeah.
Kobe.
There's a few times in your life that you remember where you were when something happens, and I think for a lot of people, hey, I remember where I was when this happened, and it's very sad.
Yeah. So we're gonna spend the first hour or so kind of doing not a commemorative on Kobe Bryant's life, like that's not what we're gonna do, but we're Kobe Bryant discussion. I know that Mock Sheen and the Rat and the Mask Chris Massey aren't the biggest NBA followers, but definitely people who knew who Kobe Bryant was. Even if it's just from the shooting the paper in the trash can, Kobe, thing type of deal. So just I don't know if you guys looked at stuff, and I mean it's hard. It was hard not to see highlights and various things over the past 24 hours, but just kind of give an insight. And Kyle and I obviously have plenty that we can share. But I do have some soppiness that I kind of want to do. So do we want to get it out of the way first, or do we want to end the hour?
I think that'll be good.
So there's two things I want to touch on. So sorry, bear with me. And I apologize if it gets rough in terms of sadness. Also one other thing too. You gave kudos to all the NBA organizations for doing the 24-second and 8-second shot clock and backcourt violations to begin their games.
See, what was amazing to me with that is, when the news broke, a game was about to start, and that was an on-the-fly call, and it was perfect. That was something that someone's like, "Listen, we're going to do this."
What was the game that started first? It was
Rockets.
Toronto
Rockets.
It was Rockets and Bucks, wasn't it?
No,
or was it
Rockets Nuggets?
I thought it was the Spurs.
No, it was Spurs Raptors. That was the second game.
Oh, okay.
Because
Nuggets were in that though. They played somebody.
Yeah, well, whatever. But I mean, you look at you look at who's coaching. Mike D'Antoni. Mike D'Antoni has coached around Kobe for a very long time.
Yeah,
that's somebody who to be frank, has lost a lot of playoff games because of Kobe. But I mean,
it was just the perfect. It was on the fly and it was perfect. It was a very touching thing, I thought.
So I'd like to do two things real quick. One, I'd like to read. I don't think a lot of people are familiar with this. I believe this came out at the end of his retirement season. But Kobe Bryant wrote a poem called "Dear Basketball." I'm not sure if before yesterday how many people were familiar with it. Kyle, did you know about the "Dear Basketball" poem from Kobe Bryant? So I'd like to read it. I'm sorry, in advance to both my trusty crew here as well as the listeners that this isn't our traditional format of less than interactive, but
can I just say one thing real fast?
It's
this is important.
This is important.
I know. I just want to say this real quick. It's about the whole Kobe Bryant thing.
Well, I figured.
They said Kobe Bryant helicopter didn't have black box LASD patrolling crash site for looters. I don't know what that means.
So the black box in an aircraft, it records everything that happens, everything that the pilots do, everything happening with so when crashes happen and they recover the black, they know what happened.
They have a frame of reference for the investigation
to the aircraft.
Remember, this is not the time or place for this really, but it's something you've seen the movie Con Air with Nicolas Cage.
Mm-hmm.
Remember when they steal the big giant plane and Dave Chappelle takes the big black thing out of the cockpit and then runs and hides it somewhere?
Yeah,
that's the black box. That's why the Air Force ended up tracking that weird little dust cropper plane.
Yeah,
that's what it is. It's a GPS device. It's
everything.
Yeah, it's a diagnostics device. I mean, the whole 9 yards. So Dear Basketball by Kobe Bryant. From the moment I started rolling my dad's tube socks and shooting imaginary game-winning shots in the Great Western Forum, I knew one thing was real. I fell in love with you. A love so deep, I gave you my all, from my mind and body to my spirit and soul. As a 6-year-old boy deeply in love with you, I never saw the end of the tunnel. I only saw myself running out of one. And so I ran. I ran up and down every court after every loose ball for you. You asked for my hustle, I gave you my heart, because it came with so much more. I played through the sweat and hurt, not because challenge called me, but because you called me. I did everything for you because that's what you do when someone makes you feel as alive as you've made me feel. You gave a 6-year-old boy his Laker dream, and I'll always love you for it. But I can't love you obsessively for much longer. This season is all I have left to give. My heart can take the pounding, my mind can take the grind, but my body knows it's time to say goodbye. And that's okay. I'm ready to let you go. I want you to know now, so we both can savor every moment we have left together. The good and the bad, we have given each other all that we have. And we both know no matter what I do next, I'll always be that kid with the rolled up tube socks, garbage can in the corner, 5 seconds on the clock, ball in my hands. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Love you always, Kobe. So just, it's very rare, especially in sports, where you see this continuous passing of the torch. And in basketball, we've had that. We had it
twice,
3 times.
Yeah,
you had it from Jordan to Kobe to LeBron, and maybe we're gearing up for that next one with Giannis or a Luka, and we're seeing it. But there's one post that's really been going around a lot lately, and on this show we've done it our fair share of times, but the world is the biggest cult. ESPN, Fox Sports, NBC Sports are all the culprit. Anybody who talks about sports is a culprit of it. And it's the classic photo, photoshopped photo of Michael Jordan walking with his arms around Kobe's and LeBron's shoulders. Yeah. And the captions were changed from, who's the greatest and the GOAT and all that. And it's no more debating. Just, I think it's just embracing or something like that. But, and then I have one more thing. And then we'll move on to talking about stuff. So this one's more personal. This is definitely going to be very sappy, and I apologize for that. But as Kobe was a huge part of a lot of people's lives, fans, players, everyone. And Kyle can attest to this obviously more than the other 3 in the room can. But when you play basketball, it makes it that much bigger. And somebody like myself who had kind of internal family turmoil from a young age, living in an area where there weren't a lot of kids. Basketball was the sport you could play by yourself. Basketball was the thing you could always do alone. You couldn't do football and baseball by yourself. It wasn't the same. So basketball became a very strong love of mine, just like it's come for a lot of kids. I mean, I'm not singled out. I'm not a unique individual in that. That's something that a lot of children have found rejoice in, and those much better than I have become greats because of it. But I wrote somewhat of a letter in kind of from the mindset of a young child or somebody inspired by Kobe, the everyday fan. And it's kind of a playoff of the retirement video that became famous that the NBA players did called Dear Kobe. Mm-hmm. So, if you guys will bear with me. So, Dear Kobe, thank you for teaching us that hard work and dedication outweighs talent. Thank you for demonstrating true professionalism during the best and worst of times. Thank you for giving every child the role model they deserved. Thank you for showing people that loyalty trumps money and fame. Thank you for influencing generations of athletes around the world. Thank you for countless memories that are engraved in history. Thank you for giving the world 20 years of everything you had, even when we asked for more. Thank you for showing athletes and kids that you get what you put in. Thank you for reminding people that life is more than money or success. Thank you for inspiring an entire generation of NBA players that continue to break records. Thank you for inspiring a generation of WNBA players that continue to break boundaries. Thank you for teaching us that the only standards that matter are those set by ourselves. Thank you for reminding the world that you're in control of your own success. Thank you for bringing the world together regardless of fandom to cheer you through your final run. Thank you for demonstrating your passion and desire time and again in all aspects of life. Thank you for your unconditional love of the game. Thank you for reminding us that above fame, money, and success, there's always family. Thank you for demonstrating night in and night out that it's more than a game. Thank you for giving us your heart when we asked for your hustle. Thank you for giving the world the spirit of your competitiveness, the passion of the game, the love for life, and the infectiousness of your smile. Thank you for being you, for showing us how, for impacting the world. Thank you, Kobe.
I like that. An ode to Kobe.
It's a very sad day.
It's Kobe.
Kobe.
Souls,
Well,
what do you got?
so I just saw the Detroit Pistons tonight. All wore number 8 and 24 with Bryant on the back
During warm-ups or
during the entire game.
Wow.
This is a circumstance when we're going to see a lot of things slide
Yeah.
in the NBA.
Andrew Wiggins just now set the ball at the free throw line and just left it there. Where Kobe passed MJ for points in 2014, just kind of like a testament to him. There's going to be a lot
so many people. So Kobe on the basketball level, it affects the people who watched it.
We've entered a generation of players that are playing because of him.
That's. I was just going to bring that up. I mean, you know, the LeBron James age were the guys that grew up watching Jordan. You know, the young guys coming up now, like you said, are the ones that grew up watching Kobe.
The Michael Jordans grew up watching Kareem.
Yeah.
The Kobe Bryants grew up watching Magic. LeBron grew up with Jordan. And now these kids, the Trae Youngs, the Giannis's, the Joel Embiid's, James Harden's, Russell Westbrook's, they watched Kobe. And then the next generation will be the ones that watch LeBron.
Yeah.
And then it'll be whoever follows next. But that's what we're seeing. That's why you're seeing so much emotion out of a Trae Young, who wore number 8. Changed his number to 8 last night for the game. Yep. That's why you're seeing so much emotion. I mean, that's why you see a Kawhi Leonard tearing up. Somebody that showcases zero emotion on a regular basis. And then from the flip side of it, you have people that watched him grow from the late 90s Kobe to what he became, to 60 points in a retirement game. Greg Popovich, Mike D'Antoni, Doc Rivers. These are guys that were here before and are here after him at a professional level. And it's hard, especially at such a young age. And it's and he was somebody, I know there are people that don't have the most respect for him given the things that happened in 2003 and whatnot, but he was a true professional. That Kobe Bryant possessed at an NBA level what a lot of people respect Derek Jeter for at an MLB level.
Yeah.
He's a true professional. And he gave everything he had every single time.
This is the guy that nailed 2 free throws and then walked himself off the court after blowing out his Achilles.
Yeah.
What we don't see until after the math is how much you appreciate the guy off the court. You've seen it the last day and a half on what he truly meant off the court as well.
Yeah.
Taking care how happy he was after the game. Being with his daughter.
Well, and that's the thing that I think is the hardest is
he was starting to enjoy life without it.
Kobe said time and again, I've just started living life.
Yeah. Because, from the time he was a
18,
kid to
17,
the day
17.
he retired, it was 100% basketball. Like, it was work. And that I don't think he had a problem with that.
Right.
But now he's retired. Just like anybody in any profession, you work, 40 years, you turn to, and now you can enjoy what you worked
your
for.
Your mindset changes.
Right.
You know?
And you look at somebody like a Kobe Bryant, who for the majority of his career, success and work didn't stop when the season ended. Oftentimes, it went another month and a half into the postseason.
Yeah.
And after that, it went into the Olympics.
Yeah. I mean,
and then he's training again for the next season.
Listen, he would take like 2 weeks off.
So it's honestly,
and then he was back in the gym.
It's honestly amazing to think about how his Achilles didn't blow earlier.
Yeah.
A lot of wear and tear on that knee, on that foot. It's just amazing how much he kept up with it.
And it's important when you hear something like playing an 82-game season followed by 10 to 20 playoff games, followed by practices and a 6-game Olympic run, followed by going right into the next season.
Yeah.
I don't care how much money you get paid. You do that because you love what you did.
Absolutely. Especially at that level. I mean, if you're going through the motions, yeah, you can play year round, but to stay at that such a high caliber level, I mean, there's the passion there.
Yeah.
And now you got, people petitioning for the NBA to change the logo to Kobe Bryant.
I saw that today.
Which is a stand-up by itself.
Right. I mean, that's just it. I mean, there's been talk over the past few years of the NBA needing a new logo.
Yeah.
But, and honestly, it would be, not a Cinderella story, but it would be like, it'd be poetry to have the logo go to Kobe Bryant in a way because...
Laker to Laker.
Well, no, but who's the logo?
Jerry West.
Who drafted Kobe?
Jerry West.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Not just from a sympathetic standpoint of losing one of the all-time greats of the sport and one of the all-time great people to ever be around the sport, but in a poetic kind of way.
Yeah, sometimes things just seem right, and it's because they are.
Like everybody that watched Kobe was like, all right, he takes every shot. Because I always thought that too. He doesn't pass. But then you see him outside of basketball. And then you finally realize who he is as a person. Because you saw him when he retired, how happy he was.
Yeah.
Like his smile just light up the room. He was on the Jimmy Kimmel show, James Corden. Like you saw how it was for him outside of basketball. And life was good. You can tell. Like there was no going back for him. He went to the games and stuff still. You do that, after you retire. You're going to go watch your old team play. But you can just see him loving the fact that people are going to surpass him.
Yeah.
Like LeBron, the night before. He was nothing but thrilled for him.
See, that was not funny, but because there was a few days before when, like, the LeBron passing was approaching, and they were asking him, like, what's your response going to be? And he said something, I mean, paraphrasing, but it was something along the lines of, like, when I passed Jordan, he congratulated me. He's like, so I'm going to pass that on.
Pay it forward.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. That's why, it's always bothered me to have the conversations of who's better between Kobe and LeBron. And it's because there's so many NBA players out there. So many guys, Karl Malone's and stuff like that, who they're bitter. They're bitter when their records are broken. And Michael Jordan was nothing but happy for Kobe Bryant when he did it. And Kobe was nothing but happy for LeBron when he did it. And LeBron will be nothing but happy for the guy that does it to him.
Yeah.
Because
it's part of the game.
It's part of the game, but it's part of the love for the game. The love for the game is knowing that it moves on past you, and what you did paved the way for another person.
For that next person.
You got to think about it. Like, if somebody surpasses you in points scored, they must be one hell of a fucking player.
Right.
If you're in the caliber of Kobe, LeBron, and Jordan, you got to understand that, holy shit, this is the next big thing. I am proud to lend my position to 4 by letting this guy get to 3.
Right.
And it's just a number game. Who cares? In my opinion.
The other side, too, I mean, there's a lot of record. I mean, we see it even in the NFL with, like, touchdowns. That record's always going to just keep getting broken. There's always going to be more and more touchdowns thrown. In basketball, I mean, it's a scoring game. Like, there's going to be these guys that score points. It's not to say everybody's, going to end up in the top 5 scoring, but
right.
It happens.
It's like the same thing. Like Kevin Durant's right there with LeBron in his career and scoring wise. Is LeBron going to be pissed once he retires that KD takes over? Probably not, because he was there the entire time. He knows how great of a player KD is. It's something that's going to happen. There's nothing you could do about it, and just congratulate the guy. You did your part. You're an NBA legend.
People are in the mindset that, out on the record, I'm going to be forgotten about forever, and that's not how it works.
No.
So,
like everybody thought, like Barry Bonds, for example, Barry Bonds broke Hank Aaron's record. Into a lot of people's eyes, Hank Aaron still owns that record. But it's just like Hank Aaron will never be forgotten.
of course.
That video of him trotting the bases and every single person running the bases with him after he broke Babe Ruth's record will always be remembered.
Yeah.
It's the moment that will never be forgotten. The player will never be forgotten. That's just how I see it.
You know, it's hard. I was talking to Kendall before the show started. It's like, something like this, any other sport, you probably induct him and only him into the Hall. But this year,
You can't.
There's Garnett, there's Duncan.
And you shouldn't do that anyway.
I don't think there's a need for that.
Well, it's just it's unfair to those that have earned their spot in the Hall of Fame to make them wait.
You also look at it; those guys played with him. Yeah, so it's like
to go in with him.
It's probably very emotional itself. And Kevin Garnett's one of the most emotional players to almost ever play the game.
And that's the thing that sucks too, is like, because this was going to be Kobe's year to go in, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it just turns what was going to be like this great moment and to hear his speech, and that's things that as the fan you look forward to. Like I mean I can speak for myself when in July when baseball has theirs, I know I'll be watching Jeter give his speech, and because that's who
Mo give his.
That's who I grew up watching, and that's who I idolize. But
watch Troy give his when he gets in.
Yeah,
but to watch, a guy that inspired an entire generation of players, I'm sure that was something that many people, both in the game and outside, were looking forward to, and now it's going to be a, in memoriam, and it's just going to be a completely different vibe.
So I appreciate what the NBA did, and by letting him by saying, he's going to get in regardless, without the vote. We all know with the vote he was getting in. That there's no issue with that.
No, I mean
I get what they were doing.
The reason that Kobe is I shouldn't say never, but the reason that Kobe isn't more so in the argument of GOAT because of how good LeBron and Jordan were at all facets of the game.
Yeah.
But Kobe Bryant is the best pure scorer in basketball history. There's nobody better than him at scoring the basketball. And there's nobody more clutch than him.
And I'm not going to lie to you guys. Like, when Kobe was playing, I didn't care. Like, I appreciated him as a player. But I was never going out of my way to watch a Kobe Bryant game.
Well, no, because, it's the same thing. I mean, we could say in any sport. I
know.
There's these generational talents that are playing now that I don't care to watch.
No.
I respect that they're there and that what they're doing, but
a prime example is Tom Brady.
That's who was in my head.
Tom Brady's we're probably never going to see somebody have the individual success that Tom Brady's had ever again. But
we take him for granted. Oh, he sucks. We hate him. Blah blah blah.
I don't think anyone says he sucks. We just hate him.
I say it sometimes.
You say it too, Kendall.
Kendall loves him.
The second he's gone,
it just bothers me that Kendall likes the Ravens more than he likes Tom Brady.
He said this to me yesterday via text, and
and
I hated it then.
Anyway, this is different. But I mean, I just I won't. I know there's people out there that would argue it. And I know that even Kyle could potentially be one to argue it, because I know that Kyle is a big fan of Kevin Durant, and Kevin Durant is one of the best pure scorers in NBA history. But there's nobody better at it than Kobe. I don't care how many shots Kobe took. It didn't matter how many people were guarding him. There was never a fear to take the shot. There was never a lack of desire. And when push came to shove, if there was a way to win, he was going to do it.
Yeah.
Final game.
We saw
it airing right now, by the way.
Yeah.
Not even the final game, though. There was a game I forget what it was.
He's saying they're airing his last game.
No. I'm saying but it wasn't his final game. But I'm saying there was a game where Kobe shot double teamed 3 straight threes to top the Raptors with the Raptors game to tie the game in under 30 seconds, and then hit the overtime winner.
Was it 81 points?
No, that wasn't. That was a blowout. The Lakers blew them out.
But that was that in his last season?
No.
So,
but that's one, and I mean, and we talked about it yesterday in our group chat too. Like, someone like there's perfect for the conspiracists out there. How creepy it was that Devin Booker and Devin Booker and Trae Young combined for 81 points, Kobe's career high, and they both shot 24 times.
Yeah, I
mean, I'm not a firm believer in the conspiracy world, but it's cool.
It's the romance of sports,
right?
The two guys
exactly what it is. It's a romantic coincidence.
The guys that took it the hardest.
It's funny.
Well,
but even with
the guys that took it the hardest yesterday.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
It's just funny that things like that happen in sports like a lot.
That we've seen on television.
It's.
I mean, I don't think there's any active NBA player, personally, that is going to take it harder than LeBron. Somebody who 12 hours prior, was dabbing him up on the sideline, getting congratulated for breaking his record.
Yeah, and I think for the majority of his early career, the guy to be most compared to,
he was always compared to both Kobe and Jordan. I mean, the Kobe compares because they both, came out of the high school and.
Well, I think of being an active player.
Played in a similar generation together. But I know what you're saying. But it's just, it's.
The thing came out today too with Shaq's son. Showed like a conversation that
came out yesterday.
It was like it was either that morning or the night that
it was that morning.
He was texting, "Hey, you good?" Because with Shaq's son, he's transferring colleges or something.
Is that what it was?
Yeah. It was something like he's. I don't know if he's transferring school, but they showed
he was
that
"You good, fam?"
He was checking up on him, saying, what's going on, and then
and then ironically at 10, I don't know what time he was texting from. Yeah, when the sun when
10:58 a.m.
But I don't know what time zone he was in. Is what I'm saying. Because if he was texting at 10:58 a.m. in Eastern time, then it hadn't happened yet. But the time in where the crash happened was the same time.
California.
Huh?
It was definitely in California.
Why was it definitely in California?
Because Sharif O'Neal plays at UCLA.
It wasn't definitely in California. You weren't there.
Anyways, he texted how you been. He had already crashed.
Yeah,
which is terrible.
It was tough. It was tough watching. Sorry, it was tough watching the interviews yesterday.
That's what I was just gonna say.
I know they're necessary, but I hate when that happens. The Doc Rivers one was brutal.
Was fucking heartbreaking.
This poor guy can barely speak, and they're how do you feel about this? And it's give the guy a minute.
I couldn't even.
Come on,
5 minutes.
But
also, kudos to ABC for getting a documentary out. Just like that.
Yeah. But it's just, I hate, again, I know it's necessary. You're talking to the people that knew him and, you're trying to make your stuff, I get it, but, they're still people. He's a person, he's mourning. He's mourning. Yeah, it's, give him a minute and let him kind of compose, and then if he wants to talk, let him talk, but, don't just put cameras and microphones in his face and be like, hey, tell us why you're crying right now.
Yeah,
it's horrible.
I mean, and the other thing too is something that something that is more so demonstrated from Kobe than Michael Jordan, and definitely more than LeBron, was the loyalty aspect of being an LA player. I mean, Jordan. I mean, the Wizards thing was more of hey, I'm head honcho, I can do what I want. But Jordan took the stint away from basketball and then came back. He's always a Chicago Bull and forever will be.
Yeah.
But Kobe Bryant was 20 years a Laker. And that community being one of the most successful NBA communities all
Think
time.
About it, Paul. You almost had both of them.
Huh?
You almost had both of them.
What do you mean?
Kobe was almost a Bull.
Oh.
He was minutes away from being traded.
Yeah. But, and
when?
then we got Pau.
When?
2009, 2010.
Yeah.
Wow.
But,
that was the time when the Lakers were bad.
But then, you go to, there was the one of the LA Times columnists put out a tweet. He was going, thousands of Lakers fans showed up to the Staples Center.
Yeah.
To leave flowers and jerseys and sentiments, all while the Staples Center was getting ready to host the Grammys, which kudos to the Grammys for shining a spotlight on Kobe's retired jerseys for the duration of the event.
Yeah.
I think that was a good,
Oh, I didn't even know that. Yeah. That's cool.
Which, again, just further speaks out to how the impact and the influence one person had on so many aspects of life, not just basketball.
You look at Neymar Jr. in Brazil.
Well, no, he's in Paris.
Is he in Paris? Never mind.
He's from Brazil, but he played. Yeah, but he's in Paris. I mean, he scored a goal and put up the 24. The Pro Bowl took a moment to honor him. Sideline reporters for the NFL were getting choked up asking players about the news.
Freaking wrestling,
Wrestling, yeah. WWE did a tribute.
Did they?
Yeah, they did a tribute to Kobe Bryant. The Grammys. I mean,
well, did he ever do like the guest GM thing?
No, that was Shaq.
I know Shaq. I thought Kobe did it too. I thought he did something.
I don't think so. I don't think Kobe ever got involved. He might have. But
maybe I don't remember.
But it'd be a good fun fact. You could look it up. Yeah. Look it up. See if he did. But
transcending all. It's
yeah. But an LA columnist tweeted out. He wanted to pay his respects the way that the LA community was doing so, and he went to a florist to get an arrangement of flowers, and when he had asked for purple and yellow roses, the florist looked at him and said, "For Kobe?" And he shook his head yes, and when she was done arranging his flowers, he said, "How much do I owe you?" And she shook her head no and said, "Not. This is for LA."
Yeah.
I mean,
that shit's intense.
You know what the toughest thing to watch yesterday was? The interview with Jimmy Kimmel from 2018. When they were asking Kobe about, you should have a son to take over your legacy. And Gigi said, "I got it."
That one was tough, and then there's another one where it was a courtside one after a game that him and Gigi went to.
Oh.
And
it was a Nets-Hawks game.
And the reporter said to Gigi, just was like, or she referred to Kobe as Gigi's dad. Not Kobe Bryant, but Gigi's dad. And, Kobe won 5 championships. Kobe passed Michael Jordan in all-time scoring. He never smiled like he did there. Kobe was happy to be a father.
Yeah.
He loved his kids.
That's why, he was enjoying his life post-basketball. He didn't have to work every day.
And it's heart-wrenching I couldn't even begin to fathom how Vanessa has to be feeling. I've lost loved ones, very close loved ones, but I've never lost a spouse and I've never lost a child. And I couldn't imagine what she's feeling like, what their oldest daughter is feeling like. I mean, and it's just sad to know how good of a father he was to those two. And he had 2 that were under the age of 5.
He just had a daughter born last July.
Yeah.
June or July, whatever it was.
Yeah. And like I said, the world stood still for a moment. It was a seriously impactful thing worldwide. I mean, in my opinion, the most influential athlete of all time. I honestly believe that.
There's a reason that kids who are no more than 10 will still take the shot towards the trash and yell Kobe.
There's no athlete. There's no American athlete bigger than Kobe Bryant in China. Kobe was like the first player, like active player, to have a wildly successful active shoe line. I mean, Michael Jordan had the shoes, but the success of the shoe line came after his retirement, really. Yeah. It was the Jordan shoe, but, the shoes, I mean, you look at it, granted it was, under not the greatest circumstances in the world, but he changed jerseys, and people had to have both. I refuse to believe that there's a more influential athlete in the world than Kobe Bryant.
It's crazy too, because me and Kyle were talking about it. I don't think we've seen, an athlete of his level. I guess, or any figure really like pass away this way. The last one I could think of was like Thurman Munson, and that was in the 70s. Yeah. And it was a plane crash and
right. So I was talking briefly with Masp and not compared because it's different. This was a tragedy, but I mean we were alive when Steve McNair was killed by his girlfriend. But and as you guys know, and people who follow the show, I prefer football to basketball. But when this happened yesterday on Sunday, it didn't feel the same when Steve McNair died. This has bothered me now for 2 days. I mean.
He was such a generational talent. Like we haven't seen someone like Paul said, that influential to
right, and it's
humans.
Not, and I don't mean to take away from the tragedy of Steve McNair, but just
right. No, but I mean,
this is different.
It's right. It's just different.
But to me, this kind of feels like the Jose Fernandez thing.
Well, I was just going to say the one silver lining to the whole thing is that at least there was no foul play in the way he went out. He didn't go out. That, I mean, the Jose Fernandez thing, I understand, it was, I mean, he was becoming an elite pitcher. Yeah. He was loved across the league, his teammates. I mean, it was terrible. It was
just
detrimental.
The city itself is kind of like the same thing, in my opinion. Like, I know this one's a lot bigger, like it's LA. Like, I get it. But the city of Miami mourned this kid's death.
Oh, of course. I mean, because he was a star, but he was on the way up.
Oh yeah, he was a star.
He was on the way up, and again, not to take away from the legacy that he left behind, or to take away from the mourning of those that loved him and those that knew him, but there's a certain level of I don't even know the right word to use, but when it becomes known that the reason that this happened was because of abuse of a illegal substance and doing something stupid,
it lessens it.
It lessens the blow. The thing is that again,
sad,
going
but
back
you could have done something to prevent it.
Well, it's not even that though. It's just, but it's like I understand what you're saying from a city level and a franchise level. I mean, like D. Gordon was like, I mean, that was one of the most emotional things I've ever seen in my life was D. Gordon hitting that home run. I mean, I don't even, but it goes back to what I said about like my girlfriend. She does not watch sports. She knows who Kobe Bryant is. Everyone knows who Kobe Bryant is.
The other name that just popped out is like Sean Taylor,
Pat Tillman.
But again, like Sean Taylor was a young, promising, but was still like on that rise, and then was cut. So it's
nobody who rode out their career.
No,
and finished.
For the younger one that it happened to, it was more of they were there, but that the next 5-10 years, how special it was going to be. Whereas Kobe, where it's like you've ridden that special train. And you felt it as a human and as a fan and if you're a father, you're a father.
Well, that's why Kobe's hurt so much more than, and again, not to downplay the tragedies that were Sean Taylor and, Pat Tillman's and Vince Young's and Jose Fernandez. But there's a selfishness in theirs in that we never got to see what they could have been.
That's right. That's why it's different.
We never got to see what Jose Fernandez could have been.
He was on his way, but
in reality, that means nothing. He could have finished his career out being the best pitcher that's ever pitched. That doesn't mean anything compared to what he left behind.
Of course,
a child,
a
fiance or a wife. I can't remember if he was married or not.
I'm not sure.
Friends and family. I mean.
He was a person.
And that's bigger than the game. Kobe finished the game. And as Kyle said, how many interviews where you just saw how happy he was to be able to live his life with his family.
Yeah.
And spend time with his daughters and his wife. And not do the traditional basketball thing or sports thing where you go into the commentating or coaching and because you can't get away from the game, and that's fine. That thousands do it. We see it every year. Tony Romo, Jason Witten, we see it all the time. But that wasn't Kobe. Kobe gave everything he had. He had nothing left to give, and now he was ready to start living his actual life.
I think
that's what makes it hurt so much more, because there's no selfishness in that from a fan.
Yeah,
because it's not. You weren't gonna. There was no stats of how many birthday parties he threw as a dad. There was no stats of how much money he spent on anniversary gifts for his wife. There was no, there was nothing about how much charity causes he did and things like that. That was Kobe's life that he was trying to live. Whereas from these younger player standpoints, there's a bit of selfishness that goes involved, because we don't think of them as a player. We don't think of them as a person. We think of them in a selfish aspect where it's what could have been.
Yeah.
We saw what Kobe did. We knew what he was as a player. We were getting to know him as a person.
See, I think at some point, once his kids were, I think we would have seen him in like a front office ownership type role.
Oh, I'm sure we would have seen him sometime.
Not like a GM where he's in but in the front office thing where, and you see it a lot more in basketball where, they bring in like the former guys to, schmooze the free agents, and, I think we would have seen him in that role.
I don't think so.
I think Kobe would have been more so one of those lifetimers in the youth camps.
Yeah.
Like he was running the Mamba camp. Like one of those, like showing kids what respecting and loving the game, how that yields more than having the God-given talent to shoot the three.
And we haven't even touched on the Mamba mentality yet.
The Mamba mentality wasn't a basketball thing. It was his life. It's how he lived his life.
He flipped a switch.
I mean, you go back and you look at the Barstool did an interview. They were talking about practices. He said, it was like, if practice isn't more competitive than the game, what's the point? He goes, if you're not trying in practice, then why are you having practice? You take it, there's this mentality of people resting players now and this and that. He goes, practice is where you kick ass. Practice is where, he goes, you might be tired of it. You might be angry. You might be hurt. You might be trash talked. You might get benched because you didn't perform well in practice. You didn't compete hard enough. And it might be a pain in the ass for all 82 games. But NBA Finals Game 7, you'll be ready. And that was life. That's a life thing. That's what it's all about is, it's like you can apply that logic to anything in life. I mean, going into the same job every day can be brutal. But when, like our own Maxine Washable experience the week ago, when you get to something like that, promotion, you're ready. It's worth it. There was a reason for it.
This is just a question. Has Phil Jackson come out and said anything yet?
I haven't seen anything.
I didn't read it, but I thought I saw something with him talking about it.
I haven't seen anything from Phil Jackson or LeBron. I saw the whole LeBron
in the airport
sobbing on the tarmac after the airplane landed because they found out mid-flight back to LA.
Maybe he doesn't want to say anything.
That's I can't. I mean,
he'll come out with, but I think he's going to take time and
he'll do it in person.
The LA. That's going to be a rough one.
Yeah. They postponed the game already.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is,
Tuesday's
the Lakers Clippers game.
They postponed it.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's good, like for a guy like Phil, to not rush and just say something because everyone's saying something because it's fresh. Take the time and formulate your words because they might mean the most.
Yeah.
So.
Well, when Shaq talks on Thursday night, that will be the most important words that come out of all of this. I know Shaq already said something.
He tweeted, but it's just different.
But when Shaq says something on air, you will feel as a person how tragic this is.
So, talking about the game being suspended, ticket prices are already quintuple.
$1,100.
That's insane.
They're donating. Well, no, they're donating every single dollar from those tickets to the Vanessa and Kobe Bryant Foundation.
That's fine, but I'm saying, but like
the ticket flippers aren't
right, and the ticket flippers aren't, and it's the problem. It's the world we live in, and the people that do it. That whether it's lack of moral conscience or a need for money, whatever it is. But it's a shame when you see something as tragic as this being monetized. And that's what you're seeing. I mean, I was scrolling through Instagram and I saw a website that sells, like rock and roll apparel. They must have went to a different site or something, and they must have bought like 1,000 Kobe Bryant jerseys for like, from China or something for nickels, and they were just selling them. Authentic NBA jersey on sale for $30. Get them while they last. Get the Kobe Bryant jersey that you need, and it's just
Well, we watched something last night, Paul and I, on YouTube, and this kid that I specifically watch, he watches it sometimes. Like 30
basketball
times.
YouTuber,
Yeah,
guy who does like basketball trivia and like 2K rebuilds and stuff, but a basketball fiend.
Yeah,
from the heart of Chicago, very much involved in the NBA's whole life.
He's come out and he said 30 times in the video, "I'm not making money off of this."
Yeah, he posted the video outside of his normal posting regimen, and he put out a statement. I actually read an article about it today, Kyle, where he posted to YouTube, and he wrote to YouTube and he said that he wants zero. He did no advertisements, he did no plugs, he ran no commercials, and he said, I don't want this video to be a part of my monetary consumption from. And same thing with what Troy Dan did, another NBA 2K type of YouTube blogger type deal that it was. I mean, Kobe was his guy. I mean, you talk about seeing. I mean, just that classic like lives in his mom's basement playing video games type of guy. But I mean, whenever he did all kinds of cool things. Like what's that that app where you pay like a celebrity to give you like a video message?
Oh, the Cameo.
Cameo. He'd go on there and because YouTube people get stupid money. He'd be like, all right, I have $2,000 as my budget, and I'm going to go out and hire famous Cameo people to give me 3 NBA players, and then he has to pick one of those 3, and that's how he builds his team. And I mean, anytime he did whatever it was, spinning a wheel out of a hat, I mean, his fucking face when he pulled Kobe, every time, was just, I mean,
that's every sports fan has that player. No matter what the sport, like whatever your sport of choice, every person has that player that is like the one, like I know Mount Rushmore's 4 faces, but like the one guy.
Yeah.
Everybody has that.
That George Washington.
Everest.
But like Kobe was that guy to a lot of people.
Yeah, and,
like millions.
And the thing on the flip side to it too is, you look at, a lot of times it's the person too, and I think it's a blessing that goes with the curse, and the curse being that you are considered one of the all-time greats, but very rarely considered the great.
Yeah,
and that's kind of what Kobe was in the basketball world because of the whole LeBron Jordan debate. And it's the same thing you see from Larry Fitzgerald. One of the greatest receivers of all time. I think there's very few people that would say that he's better than Jerry Rice. And I think I think there's a lot of people that would even say Randy Moss. Now, that's not what I'm getting into, but what do you see from somebody like a Tom Brady or a Peyton Manning, a Sidney Crosby, a LeBron?
Passion.
Well, no, but
humble.
No, what do you see from fan bases?
They will rock it until they die.
And hatred, and lots of it. I mean, there are 2 people in this room alone that despise the very being that Tom Brady is. I mean, not on a personal level. They don't know him personally. They don't hate him as a person.
I'd rather not know him personally, but
I'm saying, but there's a lot of hatred. But who hates Larry Fitzgerald? Really, though,
if you hate Larry Fitzgerald, you're wrong.
I mean,
who hates
bitter Rams or 49ers?
I'm a Rams fan. I love Larry Fitzgerald.
But that's the same thing. It's like even the people even the fans of teams that Kobe destroyed. It's a respect.
Yeah,
reminds me very much of.
It's a despisement out of respect.
Yeah,
not out of hatred. And that's what Kobe was. Kobe was, is, and always will be one of the most loved players of all time. And I think that goes because of a lot of people boil the argument down to LeBron and Jordan. A lot of people hate LeBron because they think Jordan's the best, and vice versa.
Yeah.
But Kobe's just
Kobe.
He will forever be one of the most loved NBA players and professional athletes of all time.
Reminds me of that commercial they ran during Jeter's final year, the respect commercial. Very much
The
along
hat
that line.
tipping?
Yeah.
And that's just and you know, and basketball too. Basketball is one of those sports where, you know, probably the only sport where so many people get involved with the sport. You know, obviously very few make it professionally and even to an actual competitive collegiate level, but just Catholic rec leagues and regular rec leagues and middle school basketball. So many people get into the game because of one person. There's so many players, and you see it all the time in the NFL. Oh, like, why'd you want to be an outside linebacker? I loved watching Lawrence Taylor play. I loved watching it. But he was a football fan. He was a fan of a team.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it was bigger than just Lawrence Taylor. Like, he didn't just watch Lawrence Taylor sack some. I mean, there are people out there like that. I'm not going to say there's not. But there's very few people that just watched Lawrence Taylor sack a quarterback and was like, that's him. That's the reason I'm going to play football is because it's just him. You don't see it as often. And you don't see that in baseball as much. I mean, very influenced. But baseball and football are two of those sports where you go out and you see Derek Jeter playing shortstop, and you might go out and be one hell of a baseball player, but you might not be a good shortstop.
Yeah.
You might think that Tom Brady might be the biggest hero of your life, but you might be 5'10" and run fast, but have no arm. You know what I'm saying? Like, but basketball, if you're good at basketball, you could kind of fit in anywhere growing up. Now, once you start getting into the competitive level, it starts getting divided much more. But so many basketball is that one sport where so many people play because of one person. People are just enamored with. You see it all the time. Basketball is the only sport where there is such a large fan base of people that follow a player, not a team. You don't see that in the NFL. You don't see somebody that's like, well, I mean, you do see it, but you don't.
Not on the same level.
Not on the same level. You don't see a lot of people that's just like, well, I'm just a big Eric Weddle fan.
Yeah, I've seen more. I'm a LeBron fan versus I'm an Eric Weddle fan.
Right. I mean, our own Jamar, his sister / twin, but like she's a, you know, granted she's not a big basketball fan, but she's a LeBron fan.
Yeah.
So she was a Heat fan because he went to the Heat, and she liked the Cavs when he went back to the Cavs. Now, you know, I'm a firm believer of if you're going to follow a player, be a fan of the player. Don't say you're a fan of the team. But that you see that in basketball more because of the influence that one person has on an entire generation of people.
Basketball is more, for what you're describing, basketball is the most definitive for that type of thing.
Yeah.
It's just how it is.
And maybe it's because it's the sport where you can most individually stand out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
the most impact that.
Yeah, you can have the most impact as an individual versus as a team. And don't get me wrong, at the end of the day, it's still a team. I mean, you look at, we talked about it before, you know, we were talking about Devin Booker with the 80 or the how many points was it?
81 combined with
No. I'm talking about the points that he dropped in a single game. 70, right?
70, yes.
The 70 points, and they lost. A lot of times when you see a player have a performance like that, their team loses because nobody else did anything.
Yeah.
It's still a team sport, but the individual's performances are what stand out. You never hear about saying, "Oh man, did you remember when the Pistons had the game where the team grabbed 87 rebounds?" It's like, no, you remember the game where Wilt Chamberlain had 55 rebounds? It's an individual stats, you know. But you hear that more in football, where it's like, remember the game where remember the season where the Broncos put up 7,000 offensive yards? Remember the season where the Yankees hit 25 billion home runs? You remember the season?
That was last season.
Yeah, but you know,
one before that too.
So, but I mean, so let's put a
started about that.
Let's put a cap on the Kobe Bryant thing. It's one of those things that we could go on forever and talk about. I mean, we haven't even gotten into some of our best moments, and that's something we can save. Those will be things that will definitely come up in discussion. We have a segment, I believe the Mass prepared for us, if he's ready to do it this week.
He did?
Is he ready to do it?
Which segment is this?
He had it prepared 2 weeks ago.
The then now thing. Where are they now?
Oh, I'll pull up my laptop.
So he's not ready. And then we have to do our NHL draft and announce the MLB standing or the MLB finish. And all that fun stuff. But
before we go into break,
I was saying, does anybody have any last minute things that they would like to say just about?
Finish your thought.
Kobe Bryant, anything that they'd like to say on the matter, because we are going to get into our GSWD format in the second and third hour, and we'll leave if anything happens during the time we're out, we'll talk about it at the end. We'll bring it up. But does anybody have anything that they'd like to say?
We just all appreciate and love him.
Yeah, we were very lucky to be able to see him play in our lifetime.
We love you on the court, and then after seeing you how you really were off the court, kind of loved you a little bit more. That was it.
To Kobe.
Well, Mark,
I mean, pretty much anything. It's already been said.
Mass, you wanted to say something?
No, I wanted you to read this to close out the hour.
Oh, is that what you really want me to do?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. I chuckled because I thought of a scene from The Office. So we don't have to talk about it.
The text is the actual...
This thing here?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So this is a letter to Kobe Bryant from Nike?
From basketball. It's his return letter from the letter he wrote Dear Basketball.
Oh, from the poem?
Yeah. This is Dear Kobe from basketball.
Oh, I've never seen this, actually.
They just did this.
Oh, okay. So we'll finish this out, and then after this, we'll just quietly... we'll quietly go into break in it, and then we'll see you guys on the other side of the break.
Yeah.
Dear Kobe, I got your letter. As I'm sure you're aware, you were not the first to fall in love with me. There were others who professed and proclaimed. Some burned bright, but most burned out. I watched them all come and go because I've seen it all. Every game, from peach baskets to the present. See, I know what greatness looks like. I know what it takes. I know it's not for everybody. So yeah, I was skeptical. Skeptical a kid from Lower Merion could take me places I'd never been. Skeptical your game could inspire nations and generations. So I tested you from day one. I threw everything I had at you. I wanted to see if draft day would destroy you or drive you. I wanted to see if those air balls in Utah would be a shot to your confidence. I wanted to see if broken bones and banged up knees and separated shoulders and torn tendons would lessen your love. They deepened it. You didn't have to tell me you loved me. You showed me. You showed us. I have inspired many, but been inspired by few. Thank you, basketball. P.S. I didn't think you had 60 in you, but I've been wrong before. Talk? All right. Okay, all right. And so we're back, and we're going to wrap up the January kind of like fun stuff that we did before, and then unfortunately some like homeless hooker has a birthday in February that we have to honor. But we're going to go back into kind of like regular content after that in February. But we're going to finish up. We have some more brackets that we wanted to do. So hopefully you guys have liked the brackets. If you didn't, good news, this is the last of them. If you did like them, bad news, this is the last of them. So we're going to get into one more little quick bracket segment. I believe the Mass has a couple, and you only have one. I know the Baron has one. I got one. So we'll do a couple brackets, something quick, and then we'll probably kind of shorten up. We took a little long in the first hour of the break with some technical difficulties. So we'll do a shortened second segment, and we'll come back strong for the third. Sound good?
Sound good.
All right, so Red Baron.
Cue it up.
Yeah, you got the brackets ready?
No. No.
Did anybody watch anything Pro Bowl?
No.
No.
I watched part of the skills competition.
The new challenge that they had, I didn't watch the whole thing, but the Swiss cheese challenge was awesome.
What?
Yeah,
So they
the
had-
passing thing.
Yeah, it was called Thread the Needle, but they look like Swiss cheese.
Yeah.
I thought it was awesome. So it was a quarterback had two targets, or two boards, and each board had various sized holes with a points going from largest hole was a lower point to smaller hole being a larger point. And they had to throw footballs. They had to thread the needle into the holes. Now, no big deal. in the center of each board, they had to alternate from the left board to the right board to the left board. They couldn't just keep slinging balls as fast as they could. In the middle of each board was a Pro Bowl defensive back.
Yeah.
So for every pick they threw, they got -3 points. And then obviously the defensive back was trying to deflect, easy for me to say, deflect the pass, even if they couldn't pick it, to prevent it from going in the hole.
Kirk Cousins looked pretty terrible.
Yeah, I know Russell Wilson, I think he was going up against...
he went against Lamar Jackson.
No, but I mean, like, the defensive back was Mika Fitzpatrick and...
Gilmore.
And, yeah, Stephon Gilmore. And, like, and then I think Lamar Jackson went up against Eddie Jackson.
And Darius Slay. And who won that one? I think it was Russell won it, right? Yeah, Lamar didn't look good.
How far were they throwing this away from?
Maybe 15, 20 yards.
Yeah.
Okay. So it was enough that the defensive backs didn't have that much of an advantage.
No, but I mean the quarterbacks. I mean, really had to like sling it.
Yeah, I mean, you had to like you had to do. You couldn't Chad Pennington it. I mean, you had to Brett Favre that shit.
Cousins looked rough.
Yeah. Brock Osweiler would have been perfect for that.
He just would never got it in the hole.
No, he had great accuracy short range. He just threw it so hard nobody could catch it. Yeah. Kind of the John Elway effect, but like didn't win any rings.
The dodgeball
and
thing
could
was
probably draft a better quarterback.
Yeah.
Oh, Jarvis Landry with the dodgeball thing was awesome.
So funny.
So I heard something about that. So he won without ever throwing the ball?
He wasn't throwing the ball. He was just rolling them back.
He kept rolling them to the NFC and then just kept catching everything they threw. And he ended up, I think it was like him versus 4 people.
At the end, it was him and, I forget, there was it was him and Nick Chubb against Devontae Adams and, it might have been like Alvin Kamara or something. And Chubb got out, and then the same thing, like Devontae Adams stepped over the line, so he was out. And then, Landry was just rolling the balls back to Kamara. And then he made, it was actually like an incredible catch to win.
That's awesome.
But he was playing with the receiving gloves. It was funny.
It's just like, this is, like the Pro Bowl is tough to watch. There's no doubt about it. But like it's fun to do these like challenges. I think they need to bring back some of the more traditional challenges, which are, more along the lines of like the farthest throw and stuff like that. I mean,
and it's cool that they're airing them the year that they're being played.
Yeah. What?
Because it used to be like, hey, here's the 2006
yeah.
Pro Bowl skills competition.
When they didn't have them anymore. Yeah. One thing that I wish the NBA would bring back, Kyle, remember when NBA All-Star Weekend, they used to do like one of the first challenges they did was like during the day, they broadcasted it later, where like they were outside the stadium and like 4 NBA All-Stars were playing like a game of like extreme horse.
I don't remember that.
You don't remember that? Oh, there was one like I think there was one, it was at, what was it? I think it was like at the Staples Center. And like a guy went out and like he took the ball and he stood on top of like a hot dog cart and threw it like off the building and in for like a horse. I mean, like it was just like insane, like the shots they were trying to make. Like one guy had he brought the hoop in and put it on one of those scissor lifts, so it was like 20 feet up in the air, and shot like a 35-foot like a 35-foot 3-pointer, but on like a 20-foot hoop. Like they were just doing some obscure shit. Like that was a lot of fun.
I wish, and I mean, I watched a little bit of the Pro Bowl, like the highlight, and the game. It's almost like a mockery of the game.
Who won the game?
I believe the AFC won.
Anybody watch any NHL All-Star this weekend? Paul did. I know nobody else did.
I caught some of the highlights. Boo!
I was working. Boo!
Too. You have TVs at work, both of you. Don't you dare say you don't, Mass.
Not NHL Network.
It was not NHL Network. It was on NBC. Oh, you don't have NBC on your TV?
Kyle, I've watched UFC pay-per-views at Burger King.
Kyle, you've watched Sunday Night Football at work.
No, I haven't.
Yes, you have.
No, I haven't.
Yes, you have.
I watched it on my phone, not work.
What? You watched it on your phone at work? Okay, sorry.
I watched Cain Velasquez beat Brock Lesnar from the Burger King dining room.
No, you didn't.
I did. We all went. I don't know how we watched it, but we watched it.
You have NBC there, Kyle.
But do they actually have TVs?
Kyle, what do you mean you don't have NBC? Do you have Fox?
I only have Fox and CBS.
That's not true.
It is true.
It's not true. I've gone in there and seen ESPN on.
Maybe we have ESPN.
Anyway,
I remember watching UFC. It was a very funny occurrence on how that happened. But we all watched it there.
So this year they did the traditional hardest slap shot challenge. Yeah. Shea Weber won that. I think like 105.8.
I don't know what that means.
105 miles per hour.
Who was wasn't there a guy that broke Char's record?
AHL All-Star game. 109.8.
Oh.
109.8 miles per hour.
Because I saw that. I was like, Jesus.
Connor McDavid was finally dethroned in the fastest skater challenge.
Who beat
By
him?
me.
Yep. There you go. Mike Mock.
Michael Scarn.
Well, actually, Oscar Nunez won it.
Yeah.
But then Michael Mock strangled him.
So who actually won?
It was Ekman. Yeah, he had a pretty good time.
What's his first name?
Larson. No.
Larson Ekman?
No, it's Ekman Larson.
So what's his name?
I can't remember. I'm like really bad with the names because it's just like they're so foreign all the time.
So is it not Dustin?
Dustin Ekman?
Yeah, I got a feeling it's Dustin.
Sounds right.
Sounds like a name that I know.
I'll kill this if you're right.
Oh, sorry. No, wrong one. I was thinking of a different year. Matthew Barzell won it.
Well, what's this other guy's name? We need to know.
For the people
What's his
keeping
last name?
score at home.
Ekman?
Ekman Larson's who I was probably thinking of, to be honest with you.
Is that his name?
Ekman Larson's a real person.
But is that who you were talking about?
Yeah, it's probably who I was thinking of.
No, it's Dustin.
Dustin Ekman? All right. Are you thinking of Dustin Axman?
Nope.
Anyway.
I don't know what I'm
but-
thinking of.
Brooke
So-
Decker, I believe.
This year they did. They brought in a all-star squad for women's U.S. team and Canada team, and they did a 3-on-3 thing. That was kind of cool, like a little tribute type of deal. There was a lot of. It was also really cool too because the all-star game was in St. Louis this year, so right after the Stanley Cup. Our fan favorite for all the wrong reasons here, Pamela Beasley was in attendance. Pamela Halpert. Well, Pamela Beasley was hotter than Pamela Halpert, but well, although Pamela Halpert doing the lip sync challenge. Anyway, I digress. But anyway, she was a celebrity coach.
Yeah.
So that was cool because she's St. Louis native and big Blues fan. And but it was cool because they were like the champions. They brought a lot of legends out. Wayne Gretzky was there. They had some of the legends come out. One legend came out. I forget his name, but he came out with a wood stick, which they don't use anymore, and posted a slap shot of like 101
Jesus
on the
Christ.
hardest shot.
It was Dustin Ekman.
There you go. But they did this. They did a new skill set. So you used to do like the relay race kind of deal, which was like where you had to like saucer the puck over the wall into small nets, and you had to skate in and out of. So this time they put a platform up in the section behind the goalie net. I think it was like 20 rows up or something like that. And so from the platform to center ice was like 175 feet or something like that, and you were elevated. And they put targets on the ice, and you got points going with the targets you hit. And so it was the first time. So these guys are ripping wrist shots over a crowd of people, which would have protective netting, but trying to hit all these targets. That was pretty cool. Patrick Kane won that one, which is awesome. So awesome because of how much he's hated. I mean, they played in the All-Star game when they do their threes tournament. The Central Division, they were doing it, and there was a scrum in front of the goal for the puck, and Patrick Kane ended up pulling it out with his skate and wrist shotting it in on 5-holing the goalie, and the crowd went fucking nuts because the Blues are in the Central Division, and then they announced goal scored by Patrick Kane, and everybody was like, boo! Boo! Like, I mean, people were booing the shit out of him when he was getting called up for that challenge, and I mean, they fucking hate him, and it's just so, and he's just sitting there laughing, like, he was sitting there, like, getting ready to do his last shot, and he's, like, putting his hand up to his ear, like, I can't hear you guys. Yeah. It was just so fun. Matt, can you just put this somewhere else? It keeps falling down. I appreciate it. Put it on.
Get some of that fresh spilled beer.
I wiped it all up.
It's not going to fit. It's an extra large.
It'll fit.
Listen, basketball jerseys are supposed to be snug.
Purple, red, and gray looks real good together.
Little golden.
Wait, yeah. I
Look like a Centrum vitamin bottle.
The skills competition was pretty good. The championship game and the Central Pacific game were pretty good for the All-Star weekend, but the Atlantic Metropolitan one was pretty rough. But I mean, it just kind of goes to show you, when you're missing people like Stamkos, Ovechkin, and Crosby, it's a little rough.
Yeah.
All right, so
Bracket break.
Mass, you're first.
All right. Let's see. What's this one called again?
It's called having your shit prepared.
You're
Dustin
fucking killing it today,
Eckerly's
bro.
moments.
Fucking killing it. Thanks, Kyle.
You're not. You're doing a terrible job. You first forgot your segment because you're an asshole.
Kyle, what are you mad for?
Because he had it ready last week.
Because Kyle prepared a game show once, and now he's King Dick.
Yeah, ever since you made that show, you've been real dude.
It comes back! It comes back! Kendall, milk it for all it's worth.
Go ahead. Make up some content, you fucks.
How's your new office?
It's good. Good.
A lot of naked men in there.
Yes. You know, Kyle, just for that comment, you know, I know it's a long time ago, but early on, I made a lot of content. When we were doing our 20-minute segments, half hour, 10-minute.
We all did. We all made our own content in the beginning.
Kyle, a lot more than you did.
Not really.
Yes. Kyle, the Connecticut show was legendary, and you hated it, and it makes me mad.
Because it was stupid.
It wasn't stupid, Kyle. We're from Connecticut.
But nobody cares about Connecticut.
Hold on.
Except 49 other states.
I'm not from Connecticut.
Well,
All right.
What
Fuck me.
What was the Connecticut show?
you remember the Connecticut show?
I'm not from Connecticut
We
either.
shouted out a kid from Quinnipiac. Who fucking cared?
He did.
He didn't.
He did.
Didn't.
He did it.
He tweeted at us.
He did.
Yeah, he did.
He sucks. What you
You'd
doing
know
now?
that if you had a girlfriend that made you a Twitter.
What's he doing now?
Kyle, I don't know.
Running some fucking
I have
firm?
other things going on.
Running a firm?
What, Kyle, you're saying that like you went on from Alberta's pitching to be like the best prospect in
No,
Brewers
but, like,
history.
you don't gotta shout me out.
We would have.
I'll shout at you. I would have.
I sucked.
You were pretty good.
Nah.
Mock's being a douche. I see his face.
I
I think we can all agree the worst segment Kendall ever did was the Houston article. That was the.
I like that.
That was
I'm sorry,
terrible.
what?
So when we first started, we were trying to write articles and only made it to like 4.
I wrote multiple, and nobody else wrote any, so I stopped.
I think I did 1 or 2. I know I did 1.
I did 2.
The drafter, the boomer bust one I did was really good. I like that.
Yeah.
I'd like to get back into it. It's
That
just
was the,
time consuming.
Yeah, the star slump.
Yeah, that's what it was.
sophomore?
Yeah, Star Slump, yeah. So Kendall, you know how Kendall likes to incorporate, like drugs and alcohol into most things.
Everything?
Yeah. So there's a holiday that only he celebrates.
Which is called?
June 26th. So it's only June 27th. It's a day some like fat black guy in Houston made an album that's 7 hours long, and basically he died from drinking cough syrup. So Kendall likes to celebrate that holiday by drinking any purple liqueur he can find with Jolly Ranchers and Sprite,
which is really tough to find.
Yep. And on top of that, 1 year he
Isn't there one
decided
called Hypnotic?
they stopped doing the Hypnotic Harmony. Yeah, but he had some bottles of that though. I found that we went to 7 package stores that day finding it.
Yeah.
But
shout out New Britain.
Yeah. Kendall decided that he was going to write an entire article on the most influential Houston athletes of all time.
How many did you find?
It actually came out pretty good.
We could find the art. It's still on our our Facebook.
Yeah. All right. What do you got for your bracket?
We reposted it once.
All right. Best number 2 receivers.
I gotta go to the bathroom.
All right. Well,
are you kidding? I would have been so pissed. I think because of that, Kyle has to take a shot.
all right. I'm all right with that.
Kyle wants
he's
to get
so
Kyle
mad.
wants to get drunk anyway because then there's a lesser chance of him driving home. There's the same chance of him driving home. I'd actually be curious to see what it would be like. Just not in my car.
I was about to say, do you really want to risk that?
Probably better.
I'm gonna go to the bathroom.
He talked himself into it.
Yeah.
So,
Get a
Mark,
stadium, pal.
Yes.
let's talk about something. This is your chance to come up with content. You'll come up with content in a little while. Come up with some on-the-fly content.
There's 2 things.
Oh, all right. Never mind.
Well, no. So there was a couple that I mean, I don't know how much time will fill, but I mean, last week two important sports things, at least important to me, kind of happened. We mentioned before we all have those favorite players. But my all-time favorite player, Derek Jeter, was voted into the Baseball Hall of Fame. And we're waiting to see which snake of a writer didn't vote for him.
I'm glad, though. I'm honestly glad.
Why?
Because there were people before him that deserved a unanimous vote. If there's going to be this staple of people that deserve it not getting it, then nobody should ever get it, in my opinion. I'm
Barry
sorry.
Bonds.
Kyle, shut up.
It's true. Way better player than Derek Jeter was.
and he cheated.
So what? Who cares?
We're not getting into that debate. But I remember when I was a kid. I remember when I was a kid, there used to be the rumors that Derek Jeter was gay.
Yeah, that was around for a while.
There was also one. Did anybody else hear the one about Michael Vick being gay?
No.
I heard that one too.
He was in jail, so.
No, that was pre-jail.
But Jeter got into the Hall of Fame, which was a cool. I mean, bless you. It wasn't a surprise. Like I didn't get the announcement. I was like, oh my god, I can't believe it. But it was nice to see it happen. And then on the other side of that, we saw Eli Manning hang it up and announce his retirement. Which I'm kind of happy that I didn't want to see him like just go to another team and just kind of flop around for a couple years. So it's the change is happening in the year. I mean, and for the baseball side, it's happened, but
also give some love to Larry Walker.
Kyle, I told you at my house, I don't even know who that is.
Yeah, he still made the Hall of Fame. You can't just say fuck you.
I didn't say fuck him, but I don't know who he is. Shout out, that's cool. You got in.
Matt should be happy about that. He was a Cardinal.
I'm busy trying to plan this segment.
But the funny stat too. I think they said this is the first time, or it's going to be the first season in like 27 years or something, or 21 years, that there won't be a Manning on an NFL.
Yeah, 90.
roster.
Yeah,
98.
No, 97. Manning was drafted in 98.
Archie Manning.
But apparently they said that Cooper's son is
supposed to be
is
really good.
blowing all their high school records out of the fucking water. Yeah, Rebecca, a big Cooper fan. Yeah. She one time I walked in to her stroking a picture of Cooper's cock and was just like, "Oh my god, my credit score." And that's when Kendall started drinking.
640.
640. That wouldn't even get Rebecca moist. She's looking 700s or better.
212.
That's not a real
212,
one.
then.
It's not a real one. I think the lowest isn't the lowest like
it's like 300.
Yeah, 300 something like that.
Yeah, what do you got to do? You got 212.
Default, baby, default.
Ask Kyle that.
I declare bankruptcy. I knew that would get a tickle out of Mock. All right, you ready for your bracket? What do you got? Best number 2s taken all time?
No, best number 2 wide receiver all time.
Oh, I was gonna say because I definitely had number 7 yesterday. I ate Taco Bell and spicy chicken sandwiches in the same day.
Ooh. It's a good day.
Bang bang.
Oh man,
Kyle and I did the Chick-fil-A KFC bang bang the other day.
Oh, you revisited the KFC? Damn.
Yeah, you want to know what's really funny? He puked before KFC. No, we didn't go to KFC. Just kidding.
Went to Chick-fil-A though.
That'd have been so funny.
We did go to Chick-fil-A, and then Kyle took a 30-minute shit in Michael's.
Can I tell you? I watch that video quite often. Kyle.
It wasn't my fault.
Well,
no, not that. There's a fucking bastard in there, and Michael before I was.
Kyle's like, you know why they have bathrooms here? For guys like me.
Just go in there and blow them up.
It's actually a really good stand-up bit.
Kyle was mad at me, too, because we had to go to the mall. We were getting... I got Samantha, a wallet full of gift cards for her birthday. Because she just returns things, so I got her gift cards. And so I'm trying to maximize time because I had to go pick up Amelia from school. So I told Kyle, I was like, Kyle, here's $25. Can you wait in the Ulta line and just buy her $25 gift card? Kyle was like, now everybody thinks I'm gay because I bought a gift card to a makeup store. There was like 3 people in line.
But guys, I swear, it's a gift.
People say like, we don't
For
care.
me.
Get out of line.
Just hurry up.
All right,
they sell men's stuff here.
Best number 2 receivers all time.
All right.
I can't wait for us to shit on him. Just be like, that's not a number 2.
Oh, it's gonna be great.
Yeah. He texted me his list. Hey, do these guys all qualify as number 2s? There were guys in there that were definitely not number 2s, but I was like, looks good. Just for this.
Just to watch it happen?
Just to let you burn in hell.
So how are you going to do this? Are you going to do it like 8 up, or are you going to do...
I'll do it 8 up.
Okay.
Like, keep it 1 through 8, but yeah.
Keep it 1 through 8, but I'm going 8 to 1.
Well, no, like, keep it as he has it.
I know.
All right.
Number 8, Tyler Lockett.
We're already guns blazing.
Do people want stats or no?
Nope.
All right,
Go.
cool.
Do we need stats?
I don't know.
Right.
You tell me.
If Nate Burleson isn't on this list, I'm going to be so pissed. Number 7, Julio Jones.
Nate Burleson is not on this list.
Nate Burleson was definitely more of a 2000s guy. That guy was awesome, though. Nate Burleson was really cool.
Number 7.
Great commentator. Or analysis guy. Sorry.
Number 7, Chris Godwin.
What was this of the last decade? Right?
No, this decade.
Okay, that's what I meant.
Just number 2 receivers of 2020.
All right, go ahead.
We're going solely off playoffs. So far, we're good. One guy's played.
Number 6, Ted Ginn Jr. Number 5. Number 5, Eddie Royal.
Guess who's gonna win?
Guess who was a 3?
Number
Eddie
4
Royal was a 2 in Denver.
More of a 3.
No, he wasn't. He was a 2. He was there before the Demaryius Thomas days.
Number 4, Cobb.
He was, because he was a member of the Bears the year that the
No, he was a Charger before all that.
Oh, that's what I meant.
I actually shrugged because I kind of attributed Eddie Rowe to actually more like late 2000. Never mind.
Yeah, suck my ass, Ken.
Ugh.
Randall Cobb's at 4. I'm really curious to see who 3, 2, and 1 are.
I got
Hey, no, put Randall Cobb up to 3. I'm sorry. I miss Cole Beasley at 4.
Randall Corn Cobb.
I believe that was my fantasy football name one year.
Randall Corn Cobb?
No, it was Corn on the Cob because I accidentally
Number
drafted
2,
Randall
Decker.
Cobb. Oh, Brooke,
That was so funny.
hilarious.
It was seconded only to the LeGarrette Blount.
Number 1, Roddy White.
You know, I forgot all about that guy.
Yeah, he was pretty good, though.
For like 5 minutes.
Yeah, he was good.
For 5 minutes.
As good as number 1 for like 4 years.
All right, Roddy White versus Tyler Lockett. I'm going to give it to Roddy White just because Tyler Lockett was a 2 for like 10 seconds. He's been a number 1 ever since Doug Baldwin retired.
Yarp.
But I mean, he was even a 1 over Baldwin last year.
Matt says, fuck you. No, he wasn't.
Oh, Baldwin
He was
just hurt.
Baldwin was hurt all last year. And when they were, I mean,
I vote Roddy White.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I vote for Rodrigo Blanco.
Not Cole Beasley, please.
I mean, Eddie Royal.
Yes.
The guy's the best. Nobody has bought me a Bears Eddie Royal jersey yet, and I'm pretty upset about it.
Kyle ordered it.
It's coming to name. It got lost in Amazon. Kyle's really pissed right now. I don't know why. Come on, Kyle. Lighten up, man. Have fun.
Randall Cobb over Ted Ginn.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Ted Ginn was more of a special teams guy, really. If he wasn't hurt, the Giants would have never went to that Super Bowl.
He also drops a lot of passes.
But if he wasn't hurt, you guys wouldn't have went to that Super Bowl.
Why?
Because Ted Ginn wouldn't have muffed that punt.
He could have.
He wouldn't have.
He drops passes. Why couldn't he drop a punt?
Because he doesn't muff
What are we
punts. He
talking
just
about?
drops passes.
What are we talking about?
Devin Hester drops passes, but he didn't drop punt and kick
Do you remember
returns.
the 49er?
It wasn't him, though.
Yes.
No, Ted
It
Ginn
wasn't
didn't
him
drop
'cause
it.
he
Ted Ginn was hurt. The
If
guy
the-
that replaced him, Ted Ginn was hurt. The guy that replaced him muffed the punt, and the Giants recovered it,
What
and
was
that
his name?
ended up going to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Don't know.
Got cut.
Yeah.
He got cut and got a lot of death threats.
Yeah. Decker.
Yeah.
Decker.
Not even close. Roddy White.
Eddie Royal.
Roddy White.
Kendall.
Eddie Royal, have his jersey. This is opinion based.
Do the right thing, Mass.
The right thing would be to pick Roddy White.
You're right, so I'm picking Eddie Royal.
No, the right thing would be to do the wrong thing. Kyle, this is a bracket that literally 0 people in the world give a shit about.
Not the people in New Zealand.
Yeah, the people in New Zealand are too busy trying to save koalas.
They like us.
They don't.
We
They
have
did.
listeners out there.
That's probably because they're like, look at these
Randall
assholes.
Cobb or Eric Decker?
Eh?
Eric Decker.
Eric Decker.
Randall Cobb.
Yeah, fuck Randall Cobb. Fuck that guy. He was pretty good, though.
Eric Decker.
Burned us a lot. Eric Decker, though. That
Eddie
guy.
Royal.
I'm picking Eric Decker.
Decker.
Kendall?
Royal, have his jersey.
Well, Eddie Royal will run.
Well, I didn't vote yet.
I know. I know who you vote for.
No. I don't have Eddie Royal's jersey.
I mean, no,
But I would like to own a Brooke Decker jersey. So, because of that, I'm going to do the right thing and vote for Eddie Royal. Nah, Brooke Decker. I will always carry the shit guy to the end, but I won't let him win it if it's not right.
The
Now, if this was
thing was so funny.
If this was Eddie Royal versus Randall Cobb, you bet your ass I would have voted for fucking Nate Burleson. No. All right, yeah, good job, Mass.
All right.
Woo!
But,
All right,
but why
best
Chris
number
Godwin
threes.
so high? Why Chris Godwin?
Chris Godwin was number 7
But why in this?
because he's been doing very well as a number
For
2
like
since he's
2 years.
Roddy White was the number 2 for this decade for like 4 years.
Dude, he played forever, though.
Yeah, but he wasn't good forever.
Better than fucking Chris Godwin. Chris Godwin just broke out this year.
But Chris, he's been serviceable as a number 2, though. He just had number 1 numbers this year. Just because he broke out because he had number 1 numbers. A number 2 receiver isn't supposed to have number 1 numbers.
Mike Evans to the Bills.
Jesus Christ.
That's not going to happen because Rivers is going to the Bucks.
I know. Because they just said Rivers is gone.
Rivers is going to the Bucks. Brady's going to the Colts.
Can you
And
imagine?
Alex Smith is going to the Bears.
Where's Cam going?
Chargers.
Home.
I think Chicago, but
What, for Cam? No. I don't think so.
All right, who's next?
Alex Smith. Matt Nagy has experience with him.
it would make sense. Smith
If
makes
the
sense.
if the Redskins cut him to save $10 million, I only know this because Kyle made me watch the Pat McAfee show. But if the Redskins cut him because they'll save $10 million, because I mean I don't if a team were to trade for Alex Smith, not only would they be giving up like value, but they would also be taking in a $21 million contract. So you have to start out. You can't back up a $21 million contract.
What?
You can't.
Just out there, Alex Smith would be insane with Christian McCaffrey.
No, he wouldn't be insane with Christian McCaffrey. It's just Alex Smith would be able to play his version of football, which is I'm not going to lose you games, but I'm not going to win you games.
Yeah, but the quarterback to running back connection would be insane.
He would have no one to throw it to.
Christian McCaffrey.
Okay.
That's it.
That's all I care about.
Okay, guess what? Christian McCaffrey was the only guy catching passes this year, and it got
I don't care where it got him. I just care about Christian McCaffrey.
but it also had Kyle Allen throwing a lot of picks.
It's not going to matter when you don't have him next year in fantasy, Kyle.
That's right.
I know I'm not going to have
Because
him.
I'll have the first
So then
pick.
what do you
if
care?
I fix it again, I can have the first
And with
pick.
the first pick, I'm taking Devin Singletary.
That's something you would do because you're an asshole.
All right, Kendall, you want to do yours?
Yes.
You're
All right.
picking Derrick Henry.
What
with
was
the
your
first pick.
category?
No, I'm not. My last category
I did
is...
that third round.
So loud. You were the most annoying on-air person ever.
Yeah, calm down, fucking masshole.
Don't you have some like pretzels you can chew into the mic?
Yes.
Yeah, good.
You know,
Do you have any I can have?
the Massel thing was pretty funny. And it,
Some pork rinds.
okay.
Actually, if you could finish a drink through a straw, that'd be great.
Oh God.
So I have best jerseys. So I combined
Go figure.
If the Reds aren't in there,
the Reds. I should have. So I picked some that I liked and some that hope to stir up some.
can
some
I
All
interrupt you
sports?
for 1 second?
All sports.
Can I interrupt you for 1 second?
Yes.
Have you guys seen the Pirates' new jerseys?
I have not.
All they are is writing in cursive.
Okay.
It says Pittsburgh in cursive.
You know,
Oh.
And people are losing their fucking shit.
I can't wait till the Pirates put out the exact same like Bumblebee jersey, and Kyle hates it.
I'm not gonna hate it. I like the Pirates.
Be like, look at this.
They traded Starling Marte today.
this trash jersey.
To the Diamondbacks.
Yeah,
and
to the desert.
Well, because they'll do it in vertical fashion.
If your fans did not know, to minor leaguer.
yes.
Is this what you're talking about?
Yep.
And number 8, the Steelers Bumblebee jersey.
Oh,
That is not making it past number 8.
Fuck you. Okay.
that jersey sucks,
No,
Kyle.
fuck you. The Red Giant jerseys suck
Depends
ass.
what
Yeah,
number
they
one is.
do.
Way worse than the Bumblebee.
Number 7, Portland Trailblazers black home.
All right.
Look it up if you don't know what it is.
Number 6, Oakland
Bumblebee
Athletics.
away jerseys. Just white and yellow stripes.
Oakland Athletics green. Number 6.
Those are very beautiful.
Why don't you get a boner?
I already have one.
Number 5, San Jose Sharks teal.
Got this off Amazon.
Yes, that's what I did.
Amazon best jerseys ever.
Number 4, Seattle Seahawks lime.
Ugh. Could have never imagined I'd be voting for San Jose's jerseys.
Number 3, Astros orange.
Ooh, nice upset.
Number 2, Anaheim Ducks alternate jersey with the old school, I guess it was 80-90.
The Mighty Ducks logo.
Yes. Thank you for...
Can you put in parentheses, terrible movie?
Can you put in parentheses when I kick Mock in the ball sack?
And number 1, the San Diego LA Chargers powder blue.
Homer.
What? Come on.
I don't, but I don't really care for him.
Oh man, that means the Bumblebee jerseys are gonna lose. Because Kendall's a dick and's gonna vote for those fucking powder blue garbage that they didn't wear this decade.
If I could have done the seating differently, which I didn't think to, I would have done it differently.
Yeah, good. Switch Ducks alternate and Steelers Bumblebee.
No,
you
can't do it now.
Too late.
You also
for the sake of conversation. Yeah, that's fine. Is anyone confused? Like,
All right,
come
so
on.
we got Chargers blue versus Steelers B.
Steelers B.
Chargers blue. I love those.
No, you dick. I'm the host.
Chargers blue.
Chargers blue. It's a better
Good, I
jersey.
don't have to vote. Bumblebee. All right.
I'm happy we got that.
Seahawks slime.
You picked the Chargers blue? You're a fucking Charger fan, you piece of shit.
Kyle,
He likes the Chargers more than he likes the Steelers, and he loves the Ravens
the
more
normal
than he loves the
Steelers
Patriots.
home uniform is better than the Bumblebee.
No, it's not.
Bar none.
Then why isn't it on the list?
Because I needed to have, I can't just pick all NFL jerseys. I wanted to have good conversation.
Wait, what do you mean you couldn't pick all NFL jerseys? You could have substituted that NFL jersey for a different NFL jersey.
Yeah, and also, you're a fucking bitch.
And why? I'm just confused
God,
why.
Kyle is so
Because
mad
I'm
tonight.
just confused by why, like, of all the NBA jerseys, you picked the Trailblazers home jerseys. Like, they're not bad jerseys, but there's just so many other jerseys.
The Vancouver Grizzlies jerseys.
I did some research of some some
all right,
non-biased
so
fan base.
Seahawks lime versus Sharks teal.
Sharks steal.
I said a Seahawks one.
Sharks teal.
Sharks teal. Fuck the
Sharks
Seahawks.
teal.
Agreed.
The Seahawks
Fuck the
lime are
Seahawks.
ugly.
You know, I like them because every time I use the Seahawks in Madden, that's my jersey of choice.
Fuck the Seahawks.
I can see all the players.
Astros orange versus As green.
A's green.
A's green. Fuck the Astros jerseys.
It's a cool jersey. A's green.
Now, for the Astros orange, you're talking about the throwback with the big star on it?
I was actually thinking the modern ones.
Oh, okay. I'm going to go with As green.
Yep.
As green.
All right. Ducks all control delete versus Trailblazers home.
Ducks.
Ducks.
I need to know which Ducks.
So the one I looked at was the
White ones.
the black ones, but
The black ones with the orange?
what was in it? A gold mask?
Yeah, but orange, like, accents?
I guess, yeah.
Yeah, okay, so that one.
Trailblazers.
Ducks won. You voted Ducks, didn't you?
I did.
Yeah. All right, Chargers blue versus Sharks teal.
Sharks teal.
Chargers blue.
Chargers blue.
Chargers blue.
All right. As green versus Ducks all control delete.
A's green.
A's green.
It says as green, guys. It says it right there, as green. There's no apostrophe.
A's green.
All right, so you
right.
don't have to vote. Good job, nice. All right, Chargers blue versus A's green.
A's green.
Chargers blue.
Chargers blue.
You're up, Dick.
Bum bum bum. It's not too late to vote for the jersey you have on, this gray, red, purple combo.
I think it's going to catch on.
The
Listen
New
here,
Orleans-
Liberace.
New
What's
Orleans
the
Lakers.
current score?
2-1.
2-1 blue.
Green.
Green.
Oh,
I hate the powder blue
the
jerseys.
green. Oh,
Really?
Don't jerseys deserve to win anyways. They should have been higher.
I'd like to mention that Mass is sporting the new franchise expansion NBA team, the everyone's favorite Boise Jackson Pollocks.
I can't believe you picked
They
the
like
Chargers
art.
over the Steelers.
Kyle?
You are a Chargers fan.
Here we go.
What?
All right, next bracket.
Let it be known that
Next bracket.
I like the
Bracket
B,
break.
the Bumblebee jersey. It's not a favorite of mine.
It should be more of a favorite than a Chargers blue
All right, so I
jersey.
got NBA
That's a
draft
classy
steals.
jersey.
I got NBA draft steals of the decade.
Sorry. I actually have a quick
I'm
question.
looking at you, Mock.
What?
You're going to give me the stats on these guys.
All right.
Why was I fortunate enough to receive this?
All right, give it back.
No. I was just
You're-
curious. He's like, when you passed it, I thought we were all getting a nip.
What is
but
it?
I can't believe you picked.
I
the
bought
red
two
sh-
because I
you
bought
didn't
one
pick
for
the
Mock,
red.
and Mock was like,
I
I
can't
can't
say
have
that
a nip.
is.
I'm doing dry January. I can only have one beer.
No,
And I was like, what?
said
What is it,
I didn't
Kendall?
want it.
it's Mr. Boston's blackberry flavored brandy.
What do we call it? What was the name for it?
Oh,
Cough medicine.
It's fucking terrible.
what's it called? I thought we had a.
No,
It wasn't cough medicine. It was
We'll come back to it.
yeah.
All right.
Damn it.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Draft steal since 2010. Can you drink it quick and then type?
I'll just
All right.
I'll drink it.
There you go.
I'm going to do these because I didn't rank these ones. I forgot to, so I'm just going to go ahead and read them off, and you just type them
Okay.
down. All right? So, Kyle,
Yeah.
suck it. All right. So, first up, we got Jimmy Butler in 2011 as the 30th overall pick. So, for anybody who doesn't really know what draft steals are for the NBA, pretty much if you're not drafted in the first three, you're pretty much not really, like, guaranteed. And even then, you're not guaranteed. But, like, the first three are usually kind of like the sure things. And then after that is, like, kind of like they're going to be really good eventually. And then it's like you're going to get some really good role players that are going to turn into quality starters. And then it's like it's all just gambles, which is pretty much anything after what, Kyle? 15 is all just
The lottery. Yep.
it's just after the lottery. It's pretty much just a giant fucking gamble. So Jimmy Butler fell to 30th, which is after the lottery. Next up is Nikola Jokic, the center from the Denver Nuggets. He was drafted in the second round, 41st overall in 2014. So second round picks are huge. Like, you got a starter out of a second rounder, you're like, nice. All right, third up, we got Draymond Green, was the 35th overall pick in 2012, which was a second round pick. Up next, we have Isaiah Thomas, who was the last pick in the 2011 draft.
Like Mr. Irrelevant last?
Yep.
Wow.
So that's
How many
60?
rounds are there in the
60th.
NBA draft?
2.
Everybody else after that is free agents?
If you don't get drafted, you're not going to.
Okay.
Up next is Paul George, who was the 10th overall pick in 2010. Now, I put this one because notable players taken before him were so players like John Wall, who hasn't been playing, Evan Turner, who's a bust, Derek Favors, Wesley Johnson, DeMarcus Cousins, who's, in my opinion, been a bust, Ekpe Udoh,
Who?
Greg Monroe, Al Farouk Amino, and Gordon Hayward. So really, the only person, in my opinion, on this list that could even be considered worth taking over Paul George would be John Wall, and that's still in doubt. Versus up next, ooh, this is going to be a good one, Kyle. Kawhi Leonard, the 15th overall pick in 2011, selected behind Enes Kanter, Tristan Thompson, Derek Williams, Jonas Valanciunas, Bismack Biyombo, Brandon Knight, Jimmer Fredette, Alec Burks, the Morris brothers. Guys that were good that were selected above him were Kyrie Irving, Kemba Walker, and Klay Thompson.
I was going to say, I'd never heard of any of those other players you said.
Next is Rudy Gobert, the 27th overall pick in 2013, who is one of the best defensive players and a absolute stud starter.
32nd, you said?
27th.
27th?
Yep.
Close
And
enough.
then the last one is Malcolm Brogdon, who was the 36th overall pick in 2016. Again, another second rounder, so a big, like, who fucking knows?
So, what causes people like Leonard and Butler and stuff like that to slide?
So, like,
They weren't as good in college.
yeah, they weren't, like, elite superstars in college. That's all it really was.
Brogdon's problem was he was too old.
Yeah, Brogdon was too old. Brogdon was drafted 36th, Kendall.
What about like Leonard?
He wasn't as good.
Yeah, he wasn't at the same caliber. So, like, Kawhi Leonard was drafted the same year as Kyrie Irving.
Right.
Kyrie Irving lit it up in college.
Yeah.
So did Jimmer Fredette, Kemba Walker. Like, these are guys that lit it up in college that were drafted ahead of him. I mean, Enes Kanter, Tristan Thompson, these were all guys that lit it up in college.
Okay.
Kawhi Leonard, in my opinion, really, I don't think Kawhi Leonard would have been what he was if he didn't have Greg Popovich, to be honest with you.
They also went to smaller schools.
Yeah. So, all right, so Jimmy Butler at the 30th pick versus Nikola Jokic at the 41st pick. Kyle?
Butler, just because Jokic hasn't played long enough yet.
Paul?
No, I'm the host.
Okay.
I agree with just sample size Butler.
Butler.
Mass?
Okay, why not?
All right. So Butler gets the nod.
I think it will be okay.
I don't care what you think. It's what you
Letting you know.
now. All right, Draymond Green with the 35th pick or Isaiah Thomas with the last pick in the draft?
Draymond Green.
Isaiah Thomas.
Isaiah Thomas.
I'm going to go Isaiah Thomas just because he was the last pick.
All right, so Isaiah Thomas advances. Interesting. All right, Paul George with the 10th pick or Kawhi Leonard with the 15th pick?
Paul
Kawhi
George.
Leonard.
Oh, hold on. Kyle?
Kawhi Leonard.
Mass?
Paul George.
Mock?
Kawhi.
Kendall?
Kawhi.
Kawhi won 2 rings. It's hard to argue. Who'd you say, Kyle?
Kawhi.
Who said Paul George? Fuck you, Mass. All right, and then Rudy Gobert with the 27th pick versus Brogdon with the 36th pick.
Rudy Gobert.
Gobert.
Rudy Gobert.
Gobert.
Yeah.
You want to know why I think it?
Because 27th to 36 was really that big of a difference?
Nope. Just because he played overseas, nobody knew about him enough. Brogdon played at Virginia.
No one cares that you know that, Kyle. I just want you to know that right now.
I know one person.
No
that
one gives a
does.
fuck that you know where these guys went to school.
One person does.
No. Who?
Kenny
Kenny who?
Omega.
Like the wrestler?
Yep.
Yeah, he's a big fan.
Tell me I'm wrong.
You're wrong.
That is my favorite Kyle argument.
Tell me I'm wrong.
I love it.
Jimmy Butler at the 30th pick versus Isaiah Thomas at the 60th pick.
Butler.
Tell me I'm wrong too. Yeah, we'll think about it.
Prove it. All right, so Jimmy Butler for vote from Kyle. Mock?
Butler.
Mass?
Jimmy Butler.
Ooh, I was going to go Thomas.
Oh, I was going to go Butler, so fuck you, Kendall.
Yeah, well.
All right,
Take
and
your
then
shirt off.
Kawhi Leonard at the 15th pick versus Gobert at the 27th pick.
Gobert.
Rudy Gobert.
Kawhi.
Kawhi. There you
Kawhi.
go. Think about it silently a little longer.
I say Kawhi because given these are both a hindsight is 2020 situation, but knowing what we know now about Kawhi Leonard, I think that there'd be argument for him being number 1. It would still be between him and Kyrie, but they would go 1-2.
Yeah.
He'd go over Clay and he would go over Kemba for sure. I don't know that Gobert would go in the top 2.
They weren't in the same draft class, were they?
No, but I just don't know that he would still go top 2 because
You see it all the time when people do like remocks.
yeah, but he's a defensive prowess and defensive dominant, like probably the best defensive center that basketball's seen since Ben Wallace. But he's not a game changer in terms of offense, which is what the NBA is about.
Right.
And then so Jimmy Butler at 30th versus Kawhi Leonard at 15th.
Kawhi.
Kawhi.
Jimmy Butler.
Jimmy Butler.
It always comes down to me.
You pick last because you choose to be an asshole and not vote earlier.
Well, I was trying to think about it. Be logical.
Okay.
Uh,
We all did that.
When are you ever logical?
all the time. You guys just hate.
No, you're just
Isaiah
dumb.
Thomas.
If I buy a second 30, that means I have to drink all of it, right?
Yes. Just most recently purchased. Butler.
Yeah.
Should have been Thomas.
Butler. The only reason I say it is because we kind of talked about it earlier, just like Kawhi being picked 15th, like you knew Kawhi was going to at least be a factor in his career, whereas Jimmy Butler being drafted 30th, you had no idea that you were going to be getting the elite two-way player that you have in the NBA that's leading the Heat on his own. On his fucking own. Yeah. All right. So it's up to you guys. So it's 10:49, so we can go to a quick 2-minute break and then come back and do this NHL draft real quick. Or do you guys just want to rip through it? No break. Kendall, you got to pee?
Nope. Good for now.
Let's
No
fucking
break.
go.
If I stop, will you go pee and not have to pee for the rest of the show?
I could force one.
That's not what I asked. Will you have to pee for the rest of the show if you force one?
Well, I want to finish this beer. I've taken a little while because I didn't want to have to. What am I watching here? All right. Primatini Brothers versus.
I'm sorry, what?
It doesn't matter. All right. Want to take a break and then we'll
Yeah.
do.
All right, quick 2-minute break and we'll be back live here on the PPRN Radio Network. And welcome back to Getting Sports with Drunk, live on the PPRN Radio Network, joined by douchebags. And Rebecca. Rebecca's not a douchebag. Rebecca, not a douchebag.
Well,
you're a D-bag.
Can I just try something real quick?
Yeah, you may do whatever you'd like.
And now, back to Getting Sports with Drunk on the PPRN Radio Network.
Something. Let's blame somebody.
Just play that ricochet sound a bunch of times.
Some, real quick, we're coming back. We're back on. That's just awful. Hey. All right. Kyle, you ready to lose to me in fantasy hockey?
Nope.
Well.
Oh, here comes Randy Orton.
All
Here
right.
comes the makeout sesh.
So, real quick, we'll do a quick rundown of where the fantasy stands so far, and as on last week's show we noted, because this is technically fantasy, the first place winner, the first place finisher gets to do a punishment shot to the last place finisher. So last week we drafted our MLB franchises. Do you guys want me to run through the teams again, or no? Too much talking?
Too much talking.
So we'll run down Mock's team one more time because he wasn't here. So Mock, you ready?
Yeah.
So all right, so going around the diamond, starting at first to third, shortstop last. Ready? You had Pujols, Pedroia, Machado, and Simmons. Your outfielders consisted of Braun, Batista, and Markakis. Your catcher was Russell Martin. Your starting pitchers were Verlander, Price, and Lester. Your relievers were Fernando Rodney and O'Day. The fuck is O'Day, Kyle?
Played for the Orioles.
Oh, okay, yep. Your closer was Ron Rivera. Mariano Rivera. Your utility man was Brock Holt, and your DH was Mark Teixeira. How do you feel about your team?
I'm not sure how I ended up with Russell Martin. But
It was best available for catcher for the decade.
And we predicted you picking a lot of Yankees.
I didn't really like him that much.
Well, you got stuck with Russell Martin, so deal with it.
All right.
All right. So, you guys care to know the standings for the MLB?
Sure.
In last place, the rat. In fourth place, everyone's favorite household appliance, Machine Washable.
All right.
In third place, everyone's favorite garbage disposal, the Mass Chris Massey. And in first place, the man of many names, Paul Riddell. Oh, sorry. Yeah, Kyle. My bad. So I finished in second. So the overall standings are as follows. In first place is the Riddler. In second place is Gilberto. In third place is the Mass Chris Massey. Fourth place, the Rat. And in fifth place, Machine Washable. Mark, we're going to need a strong showing from you in the NHL showdown. I think you have to finish. In order for you to climb out of this, I think you need to finish in third, and then you might be able to trump Matt. If Mass finishes in last, or Kendall, you know what I'm saying? But you need to jump Kendall. But in order for you to jump Kendall, you have to finish third to do it. Yeah, you're going to have to. And I know you didn't do any homework, so.
Nope.
All right. Pretty much this is how it's going to go. It's either going to be me or Kyle that finishes in first, based off rankings. Because Kyle and I have finished 1, 2, and 2 out of the 3. And then and the other one, I finished first, and Kyle finished, I believe, third.
Who finished second?
Kendall did, NFL.
Oh. Yeah, that makes sense.
So it's pretty much me or Kyle. And I think Kyle and I are in agreement that the gross shot's just going to be a Thanksgiving shot for Mock. But I'm going to make.
Missed.
You can do it with him.
Yes.
But we're going to do the Boston Market Turkey Platter Special. And we're going to follow that up with a lot of tequila.
We might eat there.
Actually, I'm down to see what the turkey dinner at Applebee's is looking like for him.
Oh, is that a thing?
Yeah, we're gonna get him the turkey riblets.
Oh God!
I like it.
God, Applebee's is awful.
If you're a shitty person.
Do I want to know what's going to happen if I lose?
Can I have a snus?
You're gonna eat that hat.
I like how Mass went from I got some
Let's
Lakers
catch
gear to
dick.
full Lakers garb, everything.
I got told to put on the jersey.
He's gonna
and the
paint
hat was
his
laying on the
face.
floor.
In red and blue. All right, and so
Oh,
we have
God.
to do the NHL draft.
Sus.
Kelly, could you please bring up the random order generator?
How are the positions gonna work?
The positions are going to work as follow. I pick first for all of them, and then you guys all fight for second in a battle of whoever can pee for the longest amount of time.
Ooh, not me.
That's why we had to drain the vein, baby.
Third place is going to go to whoever can pee the most times in an hour.
No, that's me.
Fourth is going to be whoever has the straightest nose.
Well, maybe me, because it's at an angle, but it's definitely straight.
And fifth is going to be grossest feet.
So I guess I'm last.
Nah, Mass is last. You ever seen Mass's big toe? He's got an extra sandal for the big toe when he wears sandals.
Better than my foot, my pinky toe.
God, you just have weirdly, like, heighted toes. Like, your toes go, like, pinky toe, then the next one's shorter, then the next one's longer, then the next one's really, really long, and then the other one's shorter. Mass just has a big toe the size of your face, and it's got hair on the nail.
Maybe not the nail.
It might have hair on the nail. Who knows? All right, so the position just follows. Everybody ready?
Ready.
Is everybody ready?
Yeah.
I need some enthusiasm, boys. Is everybody ready?
Yarp.
I'm
Yeah.
ready.
I'm
All
in.
right. So, 2 centers, 2 right wingers, 2 left wingers, 2 forwards, 4 defensemen, 2 goalies.
Got
All
it.
right.
What position are we doing first?
I'll let you choose. But the reason I'm saying, the reason for this is I kind of went playoff hockey, which would essentially be more or less 3 offensive lines, 2 defensive lines, and then really you would only kind of work 1 goalie in the playoffs, but I did 2 goalies just for the sake of doing 2 goalies. Would you like to do 1 goalie? Vote, quick.
Yes.
Yeah, just do 2.
You just made me do the real life Nick Young meme.
Wait, what are we saying?
You know the Nick Young meme?
Yeah,
The black guy where he's like,
yeah.
I just did that to you because I said, do you want to do 1 goalie? And you said, yeah, let's do 2.
I thought we agreed
And
on
then
2.
I did the Nick Young
I'm in
meme.
on 2.
Kyle? Oh, Kyle said he wants to do 3. 4? God, am I hearing 5?
38.
All right. We're going to do 70 goalies each.
Deal.
All right.
From this decade?
The only stat we're going off of is penis girth. But it's got to be measured with a ruler.
Mark Subban.
All right.
Sounded pretty funny.
That's actually pretty good.
All right.
I thought about farting in the mic, but I was like, I'm going to get pink mouth.
So what position are we doing?
Well, Mark, you get to pick. Obviously, forwards has to be last.
Wow.
We have to do centers, right wingers, and left wingers first, and then we can do remain because then your forwards are like your utility guys. So like when we did NBA, you could pick any guard. So it's like that type of thing. So you can pick
Right wingers.
All right, right wingers.
Right.
I am judge, jury, and what is it? What's the saying? Judge, jury, and bailiff.
Judge, jury.
Bailiff.
Who's won?
Judge, jury.
An
Execution.
Yeah,
Yeah, so I'm judge, jury.
I like balls better.
All right, I'm judge, jury, and bailiff on positions. There's nothing else you guys. There's just none else matters because none of you know hockey.
All right.
Let's do it.
So what are we doing first?
Right wingers.
Right winger.
All right, randomize that shit. All right,
Souls.
Patrick Kane.
Yeah.
I'll trade you.
We'll see what you pick.
I'm gonna go.
Hold on. I'm gonna need to go back and forth here, so just give me a minute to do some typing. All right, so Kyle.
I'm really pissed off that I'm 5th again.
Well, fucking start sucking the randomizer's cock more. All right, Kendall.
So does that mean I could pick Ovechkin?
Nope.
No, even though it's a secondary position.
That's why it's called secondary position.
You dumb fuck.
Well, I just want him.
Who are you picking?
Can I take? Tarasenko?
You may. All right, let me get the Vladimir Tarasenko. All right, so am I up next?
Yeah. You are up next.
I'm going to take Nikita Kucherov.
Phil Kessel.
No.
What do you mean, no?
No. What do you mean? What do I mean?
Why?
This is not a right winger.
According to this website, he is.
You on HockeyWriters.com?
Nope, I'm on the Hockey Writers.
That's what I just said.
I'll give you Phil Kessel. All right, so Mass, you have back-to-backs.
Damn it, if he's looking at the same article.
Mass, we can get you to the microphone at any time.
I'll take, let's see, Blake Wheeler. And yes, Mike, I am. TJ Oshie.
Okay. And Blake Wheeler?
Yeah.
The pitcher?
Yep.
All right. Mock?
Oh, I'm getting there. You know, the search terms are bringing up a lot of soccer players, and that's not really helping me. All right, we're going to have to go this way with it. Hold on.
This segment is brought to you by Doxalax.
Brought to you by
To make it easier for Mock, I'll change one of mine.
No. I got a new list.
All right.
Just got to navigate.
So what do you guys think?
Right wing.
To dope and heroin later?
Oh,
Yeah, why not?
Yeah. I'm in.
Jesus.
This is really going to depend on Mock's pick, but if Mock can pick right here, like just one of three players I'm thinking about, he's pretty much already secured beating Mass.
Nice.
All right. I'm going to take...
Good choice.
Come on, man.
Give me Corey Perry.
Guy blew it.
Damn it.
No, I'm just kidding. Corey Perry was a good pick.
That was my pick.
That was your pick?
Yeah.
You thought Corey Perry was going to get to you?
No.
But it was my pick.
Let's see. See, I like that guy, but he wasn't dominant long enough.
Is it Randy Quaid?
He was dominant for all of the early 90s.
Nah. Let's see. I'm going to go with David Pastrnak.
I know that guy.
I think his name is Glenn. David Glenn. Pastrnak.
He
Got him?
Forgive me if I pick someone who's already been picked, but is Mr. Jogger been taken yet?
No.
What?
Is that who you're going with?
Yes.
Am I a little bit more secure?
Hmm?
Am I a little bit more secure?
Did he take Yager?
Yeah.
When did he stop playing?
Like 2012?
Nope, not according to 2016.
No, way later than that.
Was it?
Yeah.
I'm taking Mark Stone.
Oh, my God.
It's Bill Stone.
What's wrong with that pick?
It's just I wouldn't have picked him given who was still available.
What?
I wouldn't have picked him given who was still available. Granted, he should have still been available. Someone picked Blake Wheeler.
So I know the article that he was referring to, and I was also going to take it.
The most notable right winger left off the board was Martin St. Louis.
You
I
know,
was thinking about him.
he was on my list here.
He retired in 2015, but he was.
That's why I didn't go with him.
He put up 100 points in the first two seasons of the decade, and during the lockout season, led the league in points. He did damage when it mattered.
Well,
It is what it is. All right.
randomize it.
Mass, you went last, so you can go ahead and pick the position.
Can we randomize it first?
No.
Where you go, you fucking swine?
Let's go left wingers.
All right, Mark.
I'll take Ovechkin.
Not a left winger.
He is on ESPN's website.
You really trust ESPN for hockey knowledge?
Am I 4?
What would you count him
Yeah.
as? What would you count him as?
I'm just fucking with him.
All right, so
I can't fuck with a guy?
No.
I can't fuck a guy anymore? What happened to the days where you used to be able to fuck
you
a guy?
can fuck a guy, you just can't fuck with a guy.
I'm just gonna bullshit.
All right, so Paul?
Kendall, where do you stand on that? Excuse me. Why don't you go fuck yourself? Kendall, where do you stand on guys fucking guys?
I think it's a free country.
Goddamn USA, baby.
That's right. As long as I get to still order at Arby's, I don't give a damn.
All right. I'm going to take him just because I love him.
Who are you taking?
The real rat. Brad Marchand.
Scroll.
There's another Bruin on this list you could take, Mass.
Is that who you would take over?
On my list, anyway.
Over this person?
I'm not helping you.
All right.
I helped you out with all the other ones, and you still didn't win.
You know what's bullshit? I was talking to Kyle before about the basketball one. He was like assisting me on the picks. And he's like, "Yeah, you drafted a terrible team." I was like, "Thanks, you dick."
You picked Steve Nash.
Yeah, that was your fault. That was a big.
That one was my fault.
Doing the NBA. So here's the thing: the NFL one was super easy because they had the fans, which is such a big thing, but none of the other ones have it. So MLB was the hardest one for me to do because in order for me to get all the full stats, Baseball Reference, like they have the same thing. I had to like pay for an account to get the stats. So I did it through MLB.com, which was a nightmare trying to scroll through the stats. But the NBA one, there were a lot of guys picked by Mass and Kendall, or Mock and Kendall, where I had to like actually bust out a calculator and start adding things up because they just didn't play long enough where there was a total.
Who's up?
Mass.
Jamie Benn?
Okay.
Thank you.
Who's up next?
Sewells.
Taylor Hall.
All right, keep scrolling.
Oh god, this is great.
What?
Nothing. This is funny.
I have back-to-back.
Yeah, you have back-to-back. It's just funny, like, how confident Kyle is. Thank you. Jamie Benn is way better than Taylor Hall last decade.
Yeah, no.
I'm gonna go with Wayne Simmons and
It's Gretzky.
and Panarin.
Why do you do the things you do?
Kyle, I stick with 1 year and good enough.
Yeah, you weren't here last week, were you?
No.
Kendall finally revealed to us that every year, every draft we've been doing, he's just been printing out the best players from 2015.
Middle of the decade. Somewhere there has to be some evening out.
Oh. Fuck, he's not going to get back to me. He might.
Mass is up.
Is he?
Yeah.
Did you pick?
Mass,
Yeah,
you're fourth,
Yeah.
Kyle.
Oh, Daniel Sedin.
I was about to say, I didn't hear Kyle pick.
Who are you taking, Kyle? Sorry.
Daniel Sedin.
All right.
Who are the two that Kendall picked?
Artemi Panarin and Wayne Simmons.
Is Leon Dries? Can you say the name?
You could have taken Voracek.
You can try it. I want you to try it first.
Drysdale? I don't know.
Give it to you.
What is it?
I don't know.
So who's up now?
You.
Hold on. I'm not worried about you taking a pic. I just want you to see it. You have a very photogenic memory. God, you haven't even shit yet and you smell like it. It's my ear.
That's believable.
Wow, I can't believe he fell to me. All right, I'm going to take Johnny Gaudreau.
Damn. Scrolling.
Johnny Hockey, baby. Scrolling.
I almost picked him, but I know he's a bust.
Would you like some help, Mark?
No, I think I'm all right.
I am on the same website as you, but what number was it? I mean, same website.
No, I'm using this as somewhat of a reference guide. I have my own list. Thank you, Dick. Mark.
Yep.
Would you like some help?
No, I was just reading.
There's only two guys you should be choosing between.
Can I don't believe this guy was taken.
Okay.
Leon.
Yeah, he was taken.
He was? All right. One moment.
Pick between Flip Forsberg and Max Pacioretty.
You know, I was looking at Flip, and I like that name.
Flip Forsberg?
Philip.
All right, now we gotta wait for Dick Fuck to get back down here.
Why, he was
Back to the
last.
beginning of the list.
Huh?
He wasn't last.
No, but if he goes first.
Okay, no, what position?
Well, no, I mean, unless you want to pick defenseman or goalie, I think we should just do centers to round that out. That's fourth.
Yeah.
But you don't. But if you want,
Well,
to
no,
pick,
I
God,
agree.
Kyle, how do you smell better after using the bathroom?
Wash his hands.
You really got to get that ear fixed, dude. That's a rough smell. You should put your ear right in Mock's mouth.
No thanks.
What is wrong with your ear?
Kyle, please don't do it. Oh, God. Stop. God, sit down.
Kendall, you pick whatever you want to pick. Don't
No.
feel the pressure. You want to do goalies? We'll do them.
No, I want to do. I'm a sequential guy.
What the hell's wrong with your ear?
The randomize.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
Kyle, you got the first pick for centers.
God damn it.
Yep, Sidney Crosby.
Not a center.
Yep.
How is it that... God.
Changed my mind.
Are you?
I picked Sidney Crosby.
Oh, you said you changed your mind.
Are you really questioning it?
Huh?
Are you really questioning it?
Why? Who would you pick?
McDavid?
Yeah, go ahead, man. Who's up next?
It's
Paul.
me. I'm thinking.
I just can't see from here.
Yeah, Kendall figured out how to zoom.
Nope.
What time?
Okay.
Man, he can't even zoom out.
You like that?
I can't see.
Good.
I'm gonna need a second. Everyone else took time, so I'm gonna take my time.
Well, Kendall, we could talk about those cheetah print glasses while Mass makes a lot of noise over there.
Turtle shell. It's never been a question.
It is. It's a serious question.
Has not been. Ask anyone.
Mark, is it a question?
It's not.
The cheetah print?
Yeah,
Nope.
it's cheetah print.
Anyway, Mass, did you drink the Pabst?
I did not. I put it back in the fridge.
With that label.
So I want to know. So during the show, Mass had ripped off the wrapper of the Archer beer from Thimble Island and applied it to the Pabst. And I thought he was going to drink, and then he just apparently put it back in the fridge.
It had been sitting out. It got warm.
I guess it may have.
You want to know what's funny?
What?
Kendall's going to talk about that the whole way home to Rebecca. Like, can you believe this guy?
The nerve.
I'm almost ready.
So are you gonna drink that beer, Mass?
No, you can have it.
I'm just wondering because you
You want it?
Well, I don't know.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and get it.
It seems like you put your stamp on it
All right.
of ownership.
I'm gonna go ahead and I can't believe I'm doing this. We're gonna go back to back Penguin centers and think of Eddie Malkin. What do you like pumping your fist for? Oh, Matt, you taking Connor McDavid? All right. You taking?
I don't know. I need a minute now.
No, everyone else already had the minutes. I was the last one to take it.
That's all right. I'm going to still take one.
All right, I'm gonna auto pick for you in 10.
No, you're not.
I am. I have the computer to do that. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Do you really want Charlie Conway? 3, 2,
He was good
1.
for District 5.
He was also good for the Seton Hall Warriors.
David. Fine.
All right, Maxine.
Bergeron.
So that's who I was really going between was Bergeron and Malkin because I'm going to be doing a kind of a slightly I'm going to do a more complex scoring for hockey
Max,
just to give people a chance to rack up more points. Kind of shake things up.
Kendall.
I have back to back, correct?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go Tavares and Kopitar. Can I change?
Nobody else is
Committee? Nobody else is picked. I say it's okay.
I agree.
Go for it.
Who are you getting rid of?
I'm gonna dump Kopitar. I want Stamkos.
I reject his change.
Mock?
I'm between two names.
Is one of them really hard for you to pronounce?
No, I can pronounce them both.
Oh, okay, so you're not picking that guy then.
You're not giving him shit for waiting.
Give me Jonathan Taze.
He wasn't going to get past me.
There's no reason that he shouldn't have fallen to me.
He wasn't going to get past me.
Guys' bad performance is costing me my man.
Pavel Datsuk? That's it.
Gadzooks?
It's Daddy Suck.
So who's up?
You.
I'm gonna take. Kyle, who do you want?
Are you gonna take him if I tell you?
I have somebody already typed in on here. I'm not going to change it. I'm just curious who you want.
Claude Giroux.
All right, you got him.
Are you taking Joe Pavelski?
What'd you just say?
Joe
Pavlov.
Pavelski?
Joe Pesci.
Pavelski?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so you guys just want to round it out with forwards?
Yes.
All right, who picked last? Kendall?
I did.
All right, so you get to...
I also picked last the other time, which felt great. All right. Again.
Match you first. Damn it.
Did anybody pick Ovechkin yet?
Yeah.
Yes.
I couldn't remember. I knew
Slip my mind.
I knew he fought with you.
Fuck! We're doing the NFL draft. Did anybody pick Brees? Anybody pick Brees? Did he fall past 20 quarterbacks taken?
All right, so it's basically kind of anybody from
Any forward.
any forward. So that's like goalies, right?
I've been fucked twice by one pick from getting a Blackhawk, and I'm pissed about it.
Did Tavares go?
Yes.
All right. I can't remember all the names that have gone.
Well, that's a bummer.
Yeah,
So just pick somebody.
Just pick somebody garbage. That's what I do. Never failed me once.
I can't wait to get to defense one.
I can. Kessel.
Already
Kessel's been
taken.
All right. Thornton.
Joe?
Yep.
Jim.
Who'd you take?
Joe Thornton.
Alright. Who's up next?
You.
Me? Oh, yeah. Dirty in my ass. That's very raunchy, I'm sorry. I'll take my mortal nemesis, Sanjay Kopitar.
Kopitar, I thought I already got taken.
Nah, Kendall put him back.
Fuck!
I was hoping everyone would have forgotten about that.
Kendall put him back, and nobody picked him for the rest of the centers, which is like fucking blowing my mind.
I don't want Kendall's trash.
Yes, you do. Did Getzlaff go?
Nope.
I will take him.
Egghead. Nice. Mock?
Nicholas Backstrom.
Damn.
Good pick, Mock.
Somebody fart.
God, you got back-to-backs, baby.
Very seldom do they come over to my island. When they do.
Tyler Sagan.
You dirty hoe.
Yep.
I was just looking up to see when he started playing. I was like, oh, it was definitely like 2010.
He's been around for a while.
Yeah.
I should have taken because he's the ageless wonder.
So pick him.
What?
Just pick him.
All right, Rick Nash.
Somewhere Jeff has a boner. All right, Mock.
Not a good pick, but it's a good pick.
You know what sucks? I can almost not hear him. But I'm going with the Avalanche great Nathan McKinnon. I wish I could have thought of a different name.
Nathan's hot dogs. Alright, Reader.
I should have taken him.
Who should have?
Me.
Yeah, big time. Big time over Rick Nash. That was like the Troy Tulowitzki move. That's what's going to cost you.
No.
Evan Stone.
Should I do that, Paul?
He's already been taken.
No.
Evan Stone.
Yeah.
Just try. He was a great hockey player.
You can take the biggest cokehead in hockey.
You also did
James Neal? Because that's who I want.
Is that who you want?
Yeah.
Okay, I was going to take Austin Matthews. Remember when we watched the draft and he got picked at first, you, me, and Jeff?
Yeah.
And then he went up, or no, the award ceremony, and he went up there, and it looked like he was coked out of his mind.
Real Adam Gase-esque.
He always looks coked out of his fucking mind. It's ridiculous. When actually he wore the you remember the blue velvet leisure suit that Ron Burgundy wore to the party? He wore that to All-Star Weekend. Exact same getup. So you know he does coke. All right, who's up? Me?
Mike, I'll give you $30 and Rick Nash for Nathan McKinnon.
Show me the cash cow.
I have it on Venmo.
Nope. I said cash. You already owe me $100.
I'm not giving you the $100.
Doesn't change the fact that you owe it to me.
Took advantage of a child.
You're 26.
At the time, I was 20.
No, at the time you were 26.
What was that?
It was fall ball.
What was the bet concerning?
There was no bet. Kyle was all drunk, and he's just like, "Hey, I'll give you $100 if you drive me home," which I already agreed to do.
Who took Daniel Sedin?
Me.
I think Kyle did.
I'm gonna take his brother,
Oh, Roger?
Henrik.
Damn. Hey, how many of the Stahl brothers are still available?
8. Master, you got last pick.
Take Peter Stahl.
Take Austin Matthews. Or Jack Eichel.
I was actually going to say Jack Eichel.
Carey Price.
Ryan O'Reilly.
No, you want Carey Price.
We take him?
Jack Eichel?
Right forward.
All right, so this one's gonna be real fun. So this is two defensemen. So we have like a 4 defensemen to pick triple like reverse thing. It'll go quick though because all the you can just eliminate all the forwards from everyone's list that people are looking at. You can eliminate all the forwards.
So we're doing 4 defensemen.
Mhm.
All right.
All right, let's roll it.
No.
God, I've really been on the bottom of this list every single round.
By 1 every fucking time. All right, go ahead, Mock.
Erik Karlsson.
Boo.
Well, I gave him to Kyle by accident.
Please don't do that.
I'm not going to. Kyle?
Now, if I don't pick him,
I'm not giving you anything, so just take him.
Duncan Keith.
Keep scrolling. Keep scrolling.
Keep scrolling.
See, what I'm nervous about is that with this 4 rounds here, is that my list is going to run out.
It's going to be real interesting after that.
I know I'm thinking on a 3rd round.
Don't look now, Kyle, but there's a giant spider over there.
That's fine.
Like, it's on that green notebook.
As long as it's not in the air like 48 inches high and I'm not up there, I'm good.
It might
I'm
be the
sorry,
size
what?
of your thumb.
Mass, I don't like heights.
Neither do I. I agree with you on
It's
that.
only 4 feet.
That's pretty good.
Just so nonchalantly.
All right, I'm gonna take Drew Doughty. Am I up? Yeah, Drew Doughty.
Kendall.
Drew Doughty.
I think Brent Burns.
No! It's Joe Burns.
All right, Mass.
I see him all the time.
Hedman?
We guess Mike Giordano.
Yeah.
Who did Kendall take?
Brent Burns.
Brent Burns.
Who did Kyle take?
Duncan Keith?
I'm gonna take.
Who are Mass's 2 picks?
Don't worry about it.
I'm gonna take PK Subban.
PK Subban!
Sorry, who was that?
PK Subban.
Can I know who Mass's 2 picks were?
Yeah,
Awesome.
Mike Giordano and
That makes me so happy, Kendall.
Victor Hedman.
Oh,
And
wait,
then
I-
PK Subban!
I fucked it up. Who'd you pick?
OB. PK Subban.
Mike, take the big nose fucking Boston.
Is it my turn?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I'm 3rd.
Oh.
Don't worry, you can have him. 'Cause I'm taking Crystal Tang.
I gotta give him another scroll.
I'm taking Chara.
All right.
Not happy.
Well, if Mock's looking at the same list that Mass is looking at, he'll probably take Chara. Because for the decade, Chara will be ranked higher than
Kyle just took Char.
Kyle. Oh, did you?
Yeah, he took
I
Chara.
thought you had the next pick. Sorry.
Yeah.
I can never remember how to spell Zdeno Chara. I know how to spell Chara.
Zdeno is
Zedhno.
Zdeno.
Zdno.
Zdeno.
Well, so faggot.
John Carlson.
Oh, nice. You got back to backs.
Ooh.
I'll give you $1 if you don't take him.
Give me Ryan Suter.
That's fine.
Neither of these
Will you
guys are
take
going
him?
to make it back to me, so.
Ryan Suter.
Ryan Suter. Okay.
Yes.
Kyle?
Shea Weber.
Yeah, see, this guy was injured late in the decade, Kyle. So,
Paul?
Don't care. Wrong list. All right, there we go.
Kind of what animal print do you think you're gonna get for your next pair of glasses?
Probably human print.
You gonna go with like zebra?
Well, zebra would probably be something like, speed cow.
I'm gonna take Roman Yossi.
Kendall?
I'm gonna take Shattenkirk.
Kevin Shattenkirk.
Yes.
You have to say it right though.
How's that?
Shattenkirk.
Did either of these two go?
I don't know. Sam. Just saying.
Dowdy?
Drew Dowdy?
Yeah.
He was picked.
Yeah, he was picked like in the first round.
By
did
Paul.
Burns go?
Why are you looking in single digits?
Because
Yeah,
I didn't hear
scroll
any
up.
of these names go. Did
Yeah.
Burns go?
Brent Burns, yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna have to scroll way up.
Scroll until you find like Alex Petrangelo. That's probably where you want to start looking.
Hey guy.
He's not going to you. Trust me, if Alex Petrangelo circled back to me, you weren't getting him.
Did Carlson go yet?
Yes.
Alright, so I've got to go a little
Keep
further back.
going way up.
Wait, which Carlson were you looking at? Eric Carlson?
No.
John Carlson?
Yeah.
I'd say Eric Carlson, you're scrolling the wrong way, bud. Because Eric Carlson's probably the best ranked defenseman of the decade. The only reason he would be ranked higher than Duncan Keith is because he's got more points per game. Duncan Keith's had more success.
That's right.
This list is gonna get rough.
Shea Weber?
Yep, take him.
Suck it, Mask.
Keep scrolling.
Okay, Petrangelo.
All right, Alex Petrangelo.
And Vlasic?
There's a pickle?
Yeah.
Gotta scroll.
Oh, shit. How do you say his name?
Mark Edward Vlasic?
That's the tastiest crunch I've ever heard.
All right, Reed, you're up.
Anyone takes Brent Seabrook?
No.
Well, I want him.
Probably because he sucks.
Hey, he's a champion.
Excuse me?
I don't know who that is.
What was that over there?
I don't know who it is. I was just making fun of Kendall.
Somebody who didn't tarnish the end of his quarterback career by losing every game.
He didn't.
He did. His win percentage would have been like I think they said if he had retired the last time his contract was up, his win percentage would have been like 14 points higher. He finished 500. He would have finished like I think they said he would have finished like 67% or something like that. They said that's why he won't get first ballot.
Paul, what's up?
What's up?
You're up.
Oh, I thought you said Paul. What's up? I was confused. All right, I'm gonna take Keith Yandel.
Damn.
You were gonna take him.
I was.
No, you weren't. Is he on the list?
Yeah.
What are you looking at? So I'm looking at a list for position rankings because some guys have switched around. So I'm looking at like a list of like the 100 best players of the decade.
On ESPN?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so they have Keith Yandel on the top 100?
77.
Wow. Good for them.
All right.
ESPN stepping their
I'm
shit
picking
up.
Roman Josi.
Taken.
Really?
Yeah. By me.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Sorry.
Sorry, just don't let it happen again.
I am taking. Where is it?
Rick Nash is also on here.
I take him.
No, I know. I'm just saying.
I knew Rick Nash would be on there.
Oliver Ekman Larson.
Oh, how it all circles back.
What do you mean?
We were talking about Ekman Larson earlier.
He's good.
What team?
Coyotes.
What team did he play for first?
He's in my fantasy team.
No, he's not.
Muck.
He is.
This is your last two picks, Mark.
Oh, I get two. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
can I have Dustin Byfuglien?
Bufflin. I knew he wasn't going to fall.
How do you get that pronunciation from all those letters?
He's a boy.
And I will also take Ryan McDonough.
Really?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Okay.
We're drafting goalies, correct?
Taking Torrey Krug.
Yeah, just saw that name pop up. Let's scroll on back down, huh? Just so you know,
I
my
thought we were
list
only
got to
doing 4
99.
I thought we were only doing 4 defensemen.
Yeah.
Oh. All right, so I don't get to pick when it gets to me. What?
Why would you not get to pick?
I've already picked 4.
No, you haven't.
Have I not?
You haven't.
Oh, all right. What did I pick?
We'll get to that.
All right.
Did I pick 5?
Oh, yeah, we are picking
Yeah.
5. Yep. Yeah, you're right. My bad. All right, so that Dustin Bufflin was your last pick.
Okay.
Sorry, you don't get Torrey Krug.
That's okay.
All right.
Randomize it.
So now it's goalies, 2 goalies.
Yeah.
God, how can I be 4th and 5th like every round?
Lundqvist.
Really? Yeah. It was fantasy, right?
Oh.
Okay. All right. You already picked him, so.
Well, you let Kendall change.
Yeah, well, Kendall's got a big dick.
All right.
It's decent. It's all right.
I know who Kyle's taking with 4 or 7. Trying to math. Didn't work out too well for me. Let's see. Nah, Henrik Lundqvist was a good pick, Mass.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, it was. Henrik Lundqvist is great.
Bum bum bum.
Yeah, sorry. I'm gonna take Sergei Bobrovsky.
All right.
Yes.
Carey Price.
Oh shit.
John Quick.
If Kyle picks who I think he's gonna pick next, can you guys hear me? I'm sorry. I'm really
Yes.
If he picks who I think he's gonna pick next, I'm gonna go 2 for 2 on goalies. It's all gonna come down to Kendall fucking it up.
I kind of had predetermined who I was going to pick.
So who are you picking?
I'm going to take Crawford.
I'm gonna advise you to not do that. Okay,
Even though
this is my one time I'm gonna do this.
As a 3-time champ.
He was only a 2-time champ,
Oh.
and
Well,
just
still,
because
as a
he won
2-time champ.
just because he won 2 Stanley Cups doesn't mean he was great all year. It's up to you if you want to take him. I'm just saying.
Pretty good. All right, then.
Look, the guy you should take, I'm not going to say his name because I don't want Kyle to jump over here and kick my ass.
You should definitely say the name.
Kyle, we on the same page?
Yep.
Yeah. So the guy you should pick was is still very good. I know it won't fall back to me, so I kind of want to fuck Kyle over, but
You definitely should.
You talking some Braden Holtby action?
that's exactly what I was talking about. Is that who you're taking?
Yeah.
Okay. And you have a next pick too.
I guess
you might
Crawford.
You might be shitting because you picked last, but picking back-to-back goalies is great.
Yeah, because
Are we in on Ben Bishop? Even though Lightning are terrible.
What? They went to a Stanley Cup.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. Not like other teams that went one time. Being a Tampa Bay Lightning fan is like being the best at installing light bulbs in a,
He
like a hardware
chose.
store.
Ben Bishop.
No, he didn't. Oh man, everybody else getting some weird pain in their abdomen?
No.
Could have been that crawfish that I ate.
I'll take Corey Schneider.
Schneider.
Is that really who you're taking?
I'd never heard of him. I was
What are you looking at? Are you really looking at like 2015 goalies?
16.
Kendall.
Listen, this is what I'm gonna do.
Kendall.
I'm looking for people I know.
Oh, Jesus
Even Siri's trying to tell you not to do that.
No. Do you call your phone Kendall?
I do.
Ooh.
Kendall.
What about Robert Luongo? He was good.
Kendall, can you just look at me for a second? I just want you to take this seriously.
I am taking it seriously.
Kendall,
This is fantasy hockey.
Kendall, I just want you to take this somewhat seriously.
How many games are we going to get away with?
As many as he wants, because he's going to still lose.
He's going to come in fifth?
Hmm?
He's going to come in fifth?
There's a pretty good chance.
No, then just give me whoever. I don't care.
You want me to pick for you?
Yeah.
Crawford.
Oh, man.
Crawford.
I can't do that. No, because I want to be an asshole. And I can't do it. So, apparently, I also call my phone ass. Oh, Kendall, is your nickname asshole?
Well, it's my birth name.
Kendall, is it really?
Yes.
Kendall, shut your mouth.
All right.
Just pick somebody.
Anybody.
Whatever you want. I tried. I didn't
Well, I
really
can't find one with the "sir" in his name.
What?
You put a lot of emphasis on seriously.
No. He was just telling you to take the game seriously.
Yeah, no, I just.
I'm taking this whole thing seriously.
All right, Kendall, pick a name.
These are the best players of 2016. In 2016, I would have kicked your guys' asses. But because it's a decade, it's unfortunate that it's only 1 out of 10.
Well, I mean, we already emphasized that there was like this list of the decade's greatest players.
Yeah, but who cares? If you guys could just
The
do
people
that,
who are gonna win.
Then what's the point?
Okay, all right, go ahead.
All right, Corey Crawford.
Okay.
Marc-André Fleury.
He was picked.
No, he wasn't.
The Mass picked him.
No,
We didn't.
No, he did not.
Well, I would have picked him. I thought the Mass picked him.
I don't
That's the
know.
only reason I didn't pick him.
I texted you to pick him so many times.
Oh, well, then I take him then. Oh, I just got your message a minute ago.
I vote for Kyle to not get him and Kendall to get him. Second?
The Mass, what the hell did you say a while back?
Lundqvist.
That's not what I heard.
How is that anything like Andre Fleury?
All right.
Well, that's what I heard.
Kyle, you get stuck with Crawford.
What?
No.
That sounds fair
How
to
do I
me.
get punished?
Because, Kyle, you're a jerk.
You're an idiot.
No, you're a jerk.
You are not smart.
Kyle, just for that, you are no longer on the show.
Does that mean he can't pick? You can't live without. Does that mean Kyle can't pick because he can't talk?
Of course you can talk.
Kyle already picked.
Oh.
He got Corey Crawford.
Oh, so it's my turn?
Mm-hmm.
I will take Tuukka Rask.
That's not what I thought you were picking. I thought you were picking the other guy from Nashville.
Which is who Paul is taking.
If Kyle can name him,
Pick a Ryan.
that's not his name.
Pick a Riney.
You don't mean he's Pecorino?
Also my fantasy squad.
They're 48 inches.
Yeah, it was like 4, it was like, that's 4 feet.
Mass is
Paul's up.
Paul didn't pick yet.
Man, I'm thinking.
He's trying to debate whether he wants to be nicer to me or not.
You won't pick the goalie from the Bruins.
It was just taken.
The other one?
No, I won't.
Come on, you don't want Big Tim? Who? Big Tim Thomas.
The power forward for the Suns?
Yes. I'm not looking.
This fucking bitch over here trying to look.
What does it matter? I picked last.
You know what my favorite part about Kendall having to get up to pee is? He just gets so mad at himself. He's like, I gotta go fucking piss again.
All right, I'll take Pecorino. Mass?
Peppuccino?
It's the only other person I can think of.
Who? Marion Hossa? That's who you want? Is that who you're taking?
You helped Kendall out.
I didn't, because he didn't actually get any help. All right, Mass is taking Frederick Anderson. nobody took Ben Bishop.
I thought Kendall did.
I thought he was taken.
They took Corey
What did
Crawford.
Kendall think?
They took Braden Holtby and Corey Crawford.
Someone said Bishop.
Yeah, I could have sworn he said Ben
He
Bishop.
did say it, but he didn't pick him.
Oh.
Yeah.
Can I change my answer?
Nope.
Please?
Submitted.
Kendall changed his.
You can have who you picked, or you can have Roberto Luongo.
I'll take Ben Bishop, please.
I said him. I said Frederick Anderson or Roberto Luongo.
Come on, Kendall got to change his.
All right, I will give you
Roberto Luongo.
Yeah. There we go. And then last, we just have to do 12 utility players.
All right.
Oh my god.
12 utility players in alphabetical snake draft order by middle names.
Oof.
Kendall's L, Kyle's R, Mock, J. What?
P.
Philip?
No.
Paul? What is
Peter.
it? Oh, Packer.
Pecker.
Christopher Joseph Massey. Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Jonathan.
You always do that wrong.
Jonathan.
Close.
What is it?
John.
Just John. I'm E. All right, so we do the next 12 picks, and then we're good to go. These can be any players, but they had to have only played from 2015. I just wanted to get Rebecca all worked up. That's all I cared about. We're not really doing that. All right, there you go. There's the teams. Bada bing, bada boom.
I know it didn't come in last.
What? What'd you say, Kyle?
I'm happy I didn't come in last.
Like overall?
Yeah.
You might have came in last on this, though.
I don't think so.
Oh, yeah, there's a pretty good chance.
I don't think so.
You picked Rick Nash.
If I picked a lot of other good guys.
Not really.
Did.
No, not really. Not really, but we'll explain in the car. All right.
Hey, did we announce Jeff's team for all this stuff? Because I think we were auto drafting for him too.
Oh, Jeff's actually in overall first. Because Jeff gets the best 3 players from everyone's team.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there you go. Let's beer reviews.
Sterling Archer, very good. Bitter, heavy. Would give it 3 stars. Would drink again.
Oh, I accidentally didn't save the draft. We gotta do it again.
All right.
Mass? Pick someone else to review.
Riddler.
All right. I had the vanilla shake from the McKiller Brewing out of San Diego, which is a vanilla shake imperial stout brewed with coffee and vanilla. It was really good. It was kind of had that chalky coffee substance to it, which I'm a big fan of. Kind of like the Gunner's Daughter, which I know Mass was a big fan of. Very subtle on the coffee, and very mild on the vanilla sweetness, but very tasty overall, full function. Huge fan of it. 4.5 stars. Would definitely go out of my way to get it. I'd go as far as Scranton to get it.
Wow.
Sounds good to me.
I vote Kyle.
So I had a Premier. Very, very tasty beer. Shocked me. The taste was very good. Wasn't very strong. Wasn't very overwhelming.
It's one of my favorite things that Kyle does. Is like, oh, it shocked me. Like, even though he picked it out. Like, did you pick it out hoping it'd be bad because it shocked you that it was good?
I didn't
Like,
think it'd be
this
this
looks
good.
terrible.
It was terrible.
Was it terrible?
No.
What would you give it? How many stars?
4.5.
Out of 5?
Yep.
Would you get it again?
Yep.
Top 5 beers?
Nope.
Top 10?
Yep.
All right. All right, you get to pick someone. Mock or Mass? Or Mock or Reed?
Kendall.
All right, Souls was nice enough to give me another of his collection, Premier, Interboro.
From the Souls collection.
Souls collection. It's a DDH IPA, 6% alcohol by volume in the 16-ounce can from Brooklyn, New York. I enjoyed this a lot. I'd give it, we'll call it 3.75 stars.
Fucking dick.
Oh, me? For the...
Yeah, what a shit review.
All right.
3.75.
You know what I like?
What do you
When
like?
Kendall does his reviews, there's a lot of... He's like the guy in that meme behind the tree.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's
my inspiration.
How are your 3 PBRs?
Excellent.
So let me ask you a question. We know we reviewed PBR plenty of times. Do all 3 of them together equal a 5-star review?
Yes.
All right. And then Machine, you're last.
So I had the Sea Hag from Nebco, and I believe that the Sea Hag is like my favorite beer in the state. I like it a lot. It's typically my go-to IPA. It's everywhere. Buy it. 4 out of 5.
Pretty high remarks for only a 4. All right. Make sure to tune into the Peter Pino Show, which is Wednesdays from 8-ish to 11-ish.
7:30, 10:30.
All right, 7:30-ish to 10:30-ish. I said 8-ish to 11-ish.
It kind of follows our same deal.
Always keep in on the PPRN Radio Network for good, fun stuff. You can always find Getting Sports with Drunk live on Monday nights from 8:30-ish to 11:30-ish. Pretty soon we're going to be doing the 9 to 12 stint, and by the time we're done, it's going to be midnight to 3. That's what we're hoping for. By the end of the year, we're hoping for a quick 24-hour rotation on the show. Just one last quick toast of excellence to the Bryant family and the victims of the helicopter crash. And we're going to end on a good note because, Mock, people want to know where they can find us.
Be sure to find us on Facebook and Instagram at Getting Sports with Drunk. Twitter is GSWD_4.
Make sure you use the hashtag GSWD for all your daily uses, whether it's drafting a hilarious fantasy hockey draft or fantasy football. It just comes out. Or just having no belly button like Mass.
God.
He doesn't have a belly button.
Like at all?
No.
Not at all.
It's perfectly smooth.
Show me.
All right, but I'm going to make you a deal. If it's there, you have to put your tongue in it.
Nope.
Subscribe on Podbean, iTunes, Google Play, iHeartRadio, and Spotify.
Wherever you find internet and radio shows and podcasts, except for Pandora, you find us. I confirm we are not on Pandora yet.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Also on Spreaker, though.
We're on Spreaker.
See, where were you looking on Pandora?
I just searched us.
Because I think their podcast thing might be separate.
I just searched us on Pandora Podcast.
Oh.
It's
All
Getting
right.
Sports with Drunk sucks. Don't subscribe. And I couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
That's what
Well,
Kyle said at the beginning.
Yeah,
of this.
next week is going to be the Rita birthday festivities. It's going to be a weird one because Kendall's going to be sober because he's going to have to drive Rebecca home. Private stock for the night will be pink lemonade Burnett's. Oh, yeah, and everyone's drinking it. And we'll be live next week on February 3rd, Rebecca's birthday. Yay! We'll also be recapping some Super Bowl
Also my dad's
activity.
birthday.
Nah, no one cares.
Yeah!
We'll be recapping some Super Bowl activity as well as playing some Rita-themed games, which I believe are going to be some WWE-style stuff. So we're going to go a little off-kilter there.
Hit her with a chair.
Hit her with a chair. That's right. We're going to put her through a table. Buffalo Bill style, baby. But
Bill's
until
Mafia.
then, I'm your hostess, Cupcake the Riddler.
I'm Mock.
Sheen Washable.
Nope.
Yep.
Yeah, Kyle.
The Mask Chris Massey.
And I'm the Red of a Red Baron.